Ford Video Guy Studio in Salina, Kansas, it's McArthur Live with Tim Bartz and Sarah Davis. For all the information on ordering and production, Ford news, recalls, debunking all the fake news on social media, and whatever's on their mind, here's your hosts, Tim and Sarah.
Hi.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to episode one. I always forget to look at it. What is this? Episode 173? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway.
I
think 173. Anyway. It is January 21st. How about that? 2025. And welcome in. And of course, especially those that are listening to the podcast. Thank you for watching. I don't have a lot of visuals, so I probably won't lose much by not watching this, but you can watch it on our YouTube channel, or you can, of course, listen to it on your favorite streaming platforms like Spotify and all those other channels. But we're gonna talk. We don't talk EV a lot. We definitely don't talk about F-150 Lightning very much. But I was looking for a topic, and there was some news that came out this week, and I kind of want to clarify some things, and even I think maybe educate even Ford Motor Company, because I think they are conflicted on what is going on as well when it comes to getting a 2025 Ford F-150 Lightning. So but soon I think you'll be able to see them rolling out, and dealers will be able to access those real soon at those retail replenishment centers. So we'll talk more about that as part of our topic for this week. But before we get into that, of course, don't forget, we're going to answer any questions you have about scheduling, recalls, and dealer news updates, and anything else that's on your mind that you want to cover. Other than, I'm going to tell you right now, we're not going to talk about the tariffs because I don't have an opinion on it yet. Like I said, I don't really cover and worry about it until we see it actually happen. So,
and no update
on the recall.
The recall.
Oh man, I was gonna mess with them because there's a Maverick recall. It's Maverick and Bronco Sport, but that's right.
Don't be mean.
Anyway, yeah. So
we're trying to stay positive here, not mess with people.
Right. All right. Anyway, but yes. So there is some news. I know that on that somebody mentioned there was something about Farley saying the company is done making boring product. Oh wait, okay. Done making boring products at the auto show. I think all their products are pretty good. I mean, I don't think any of them are really like boring. It just depends on, I guess it depends on what you're looking for. If you're a family person, then an SUV isn't necessarily boring to you if it has the convenience and the features and the fun stuff you like. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get into that. But all right. Yeah. So by the way, what did you do this weekend?
I put loft bed up for my oldest. I took all the toys out of the playroom. We moved him in by himself, and he got a loft bed.
All right. And I drove to St. Louis, Missouri.
That's right. Oh, I fit a twin mattress in the back of a C-Max.
There you go.
Or sorry, not C-Max, the Fusion. We put it in the Fusion.
Yeah. So I went to St. Louis because on Bronco 6G, you can actually put things up for sale on there. And I noticed I go through the daily, sometimes I'll get a daily notification of things that happened on each of the different forums. And Bronco 6G, somebody from Missouri was selling a soft top, a brand new soft top. And so they showed an image of it. So I contacted him and I got a soft top for $400. So I'm like, yeah, I'll drive to St. Louis for that. So it's a 12 hours, and I got it done in 12 hours. So he's not quite to St. Louis. It was like 5 hours and 30 minutes of drive time there and back. And then I just ate in the car and, stopped for gas and, bathroom breaks. And that was about it. So they're back, and a pretty quick trip. And I got a brand new soft top. So you might ask, why did he get a vehicle? Well, this wasn't one he purchased. It was one on a dealer lot. I think somebody had ordered a Big Ben hard top or the dual top, and it came in, and he's like, I'm never gonna put the soft top on. He's an older guy, and so he's like, I'm never gonna need it, but I don't think I should give it away. So there we go. So I got it.
Yes.
So, and the reason why did I get a claw top when I already have a claw top is I'm keeping this Bronco. I'm keeping it for a long time. And I can tell you right now that I've already kind of beat up the claw top a little bit. And I know eventually in fact, I got one little crack in one of the side panels as it is. And I know I could probably just order side panels, but plus this is a 24. So I heard that it's made a little differently. So I'm really thinking about putting it on early. And then my old one being my backup if I needed it instead. So we'll see it'd probably be one of those things that I might put it on like the summer when it's nice.
Yeah.
But I heard that it helps with rain because there's more of a rain guard there for the rain to come off the top and go down, like your cars have.
Yeah.
Than to go over.
I'll tell you, Lebo had a Jeep when we got married. We traded in a month after we got married, but he would switch out his he would take the top off. He had a hard top and he would take the top off for the summer.
Yeah. So, well, a lot of people were telling your mom at school, like when she was working at Cottonwood, they were like, "Oh, you have a Bronco? It's only a claw top. You're gonna need a hard top for the winter." Well, no, I've gone through how many winters now? 3 winters, and it's still fine. But and even this last one, we had ice and everything with it.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about it with the ice.
Well, today might be a little bit different since we're in the negatives, but
yeah, I will say it does take a little while longer to get the interior warm, but it works. So anyway, but we are soft top through and through. I know there's a very small percentage now that wants a soft top, but we're one of those that like your mom, it's real easy for her as well as for me to flip those 2 switches and then just push it back, stand on the step, and then we can just push it back and bring it back up when we want to and flip it back. You don't have to take the sides out, and you still have both the front as well as the back seats have full view of the sky. And we like that. So, it's just really nice, convenient. We don't take the back windows off very often.
Yeah.
And we just flip it back. It's so nice. We love it. You cannot do that with the hard top. Hard top, you can take the 2 front panels out, but that middle panel, you can't store that in the Bronco. So, yeah. Especially if there's someone in the back seat. So, anyway. All right. Well, we'll move on. That's what entertaining things that I did this weekend. And plus, I got a little sick. So, on the trip, I could feel it hit me. This cold was hitting me. It's a lot of people getting cold around here at McArthur. It hit me. And then yesterday, I just was not 100%. I was achy and everything else. I took some cold medicine, and man, I feel good today. So we're good to go. I don't know if we're going to end up going to New Orleans, though. They got some snow that they don't expect. And so who knows if we're going to be able to fly into Orlando. It's almost like somebody doesn't want me to travel unless I'm driving. So, and which Michael asked about that. He goes, well, we could drive there.
Ooh, have fun with that.
It's like we could.
You can't just hop on a plane. Well, I mean, I guess he's going to.
He could fly back. He can cancel his flight there, and I could drive back.
That's fun.
Not so bad. I drove 12 hours. I don't know how far it is, New Orleans. How far is that? Anyway, we'll get into other things, but we're going to talk about that. Got some mail here. You guys probably wondering, did they ask yet?
No, they haven't. They haven't noticed them.
What's with the cookies?
Where's Ragnarcon? This is his jam. This is his part of this show. Is his
food, right?
Food. So
you might ask, what's with the cookies? Sarah, you know what's with the cookies?
It's your birthday on Thursday.
My birthday's Thursday. And I'm supposed to be on a plane Thursday morning. So we won't be able to celebrate it on my birthday. So
you celebrated with Jolie?
On tomorrow night. Well, you guys are coming over.
Yeah.
And Jeff, I think, is coming over.
Yeah. But you guys went out to a restaurant.
We went to celebrate Jeremy's birthday. Because his birthday's the 20th.
Didn't you guys go out Friday night?
We went out to celebrate.
Jeremy wasn't there on Saturday.
Oh, your mom and I? Yeah, we did.
Friday night.
Yeah, that was just a date night, though. That wasn't celebrating my birthday or anything. Luckily, I won't talk about right. That experience at the
selective hearing system is now active.
No, we ate at a restaurant. That wasn't the best experience. Okay. I mean, I love the restaurant. I love their food, but I'm like, well, from now on, we might have to order their food and pick it up.
We're doing a round of haircuts tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'll probably be last because I'll probably be the last one to get there.
Right.
All right. So yeah, we'll have those are peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then are these others peanut butter with chocolate? Yeah. Peanut butter. You know, we used to put the fork down, and you guys did that as.
Yeah.
The way to do it. That's the way to do it right there. All right. Anyway, so yeah, 54 this year, right? Do the math. Correct? No, 54.
Ooh,
So,
next year's 55.
5-4. Yep. All right. Anyway, so there's that. I'm hoping to celebrate on the French Quarter.
There you go.
Never been to New Orleans. We'll see. I don't know because I don't think they have plows and everything. They said it's supposed to be 40 there though tomorrow, and we don't fly in. We don't fly in until Thursday, so we'll see. One thing I've learned is if the flight's canceled, they'll give your money back. But if you decide you can't go because of some other reason, or you can't get to the airport, then they won't give you your money back. So I figured that out too.
Right.
Anyway,
But if New Orleans is struggling to keep their runway clear, then that would be weather related that you wouldn't be able to.
But here's the other thing is we fly connecting. So here's the other thing I've happened is where the flight to maybe my flight to, if you like say it's like flying to Denver, but the flight from wherever is good, like they can fly into, they won't cancel the second connecting flight. So like if I could fly to Houston, then they won't give you your money back for that part of the flight.
Yeah.
Right. But if Houston to New Orleans, they might. But I've heard that they're having snow in Houston as well. So
yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. No direct flights from Wichita to New Orleans. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see how things go. You never know. We still got tomorrow, and it's supposed to be like 40 tomorrow and 50 on.
And you're going for NADA.
For NADA, not NADA.
NADA.
NADA. All the people with their LOLs and everything. NADA.
Yeah. Well, but then you have SEMA.
SEMA. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Anyway.
All right.
But are looking forward to the pre-stream. Sometimes you can think about where my mind is by what pre-stream I select. That was the one we went to New Hampshire Bronco Off Rodeo.
Yeah.
And just thinking about meetups and everything because coming up real soon in February, we're going to do a meetup. We need to get that email out tomorrow to members. Don't forget.
I was going to say now.
We'll get an email out to members tomorrow. And so that way you guys know what's going on. But February, I got a calendar now. February 8th, we're going to meet at Ford's Garage. I think they even have a time.
Oh, wait.
Ridgeview,
February 8th?
February 8th, right?
He's saying February 9th, I think.
Or was it the 9th?
I have him starred up here.
I don't care.
I was going to do it. To our Florida and Southeast friends, February 9th is Ford's Garage meetup with Tim Bart, Sarah Davis, and her husband, Lebo, along with Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. So I think moving it to having it on the 9th makes it easier for Johnny. And
yeah, I know that Marie's got some health concerns. Everybody pray for her. And so they're going to RV down instead of fly. So
yeah,
which that might be an adventure in itself. Baby, RV,
their first
pets.
Their big first trip with the baby.
It probably is a lot easier. I mean, they're going without the baby?
No, I said it's their first big trip with the baby.
With the baby.
Which, I mean, Lebo and I did it.
Anyway, yeah.
When Theo was about the same age as as their baby.
So you go. February 9th, Ford's Garage, and I think it's Hamlin.
Here we go. Just north of Disney World in Hamlin, Florida. Jack Evans rented a room for us all to meet.
Is Disney World open in February?
It's open year round.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, it gets cold right there, right?
Disney is open year round. Well, they have only had shutdowns for hurricanes like twice.
Can you get tickets in the Disney World? Like some of them, it's like you got to get them like a year in advance or something.
Yes.
Maybe we need to have a Ford Video Guy Day at Disney World.
It's really hard to get Disney tickets. They're also really expensive right now. Oh. Trust me, I checked.
Well, we'll figure out other things. Maybe we'll plan some things.
We can go down to
because we're gonna fly in Friday, as long as it doesn't snow in Florida. We're gonna fly in on Friday, and so we'll be there Friday for where I have dinner and stuff with Jack and whoever else. Or not Jack, Ridgeview, maybe Jack.
I think we were supposed to do it on the 8th, the Saturday. So Jack,
it doesn't matter. We're staying through till Monday.
So I'm pretty sure it's Saturday. Saturday the 8th. We can always go to, was it Disney Springs?
I don't know.
That's just, it's outside Disney.
There is the city walk.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if it's Disney or what it is for, but there's a like, and where it's kind of cool, kind of a little walk.
Yeah. Mike M's like, most of us can't afford Disney World. Oh, I know. I've been saving up for like 3 years to take the boys in like another 3 years.
All right, so maybe not because I won't spend that much money. Anyway, we'll see. We'll plan some stuff. Who knows? Anyway. All right. So our Quibido said the weather in New Orleans should be gone by Thursday. 42 degrees is good. I know it should all melt, right? I don't know. 6 inches. How long does it take? Of course, we haven't had warm enough weather for ours. No. Ours is still around. Anyway, we'll see. We'll keep you guys posted. So we'll get an agenda, but we'll definitely, we'll figure out if we're doing it Sunday night, or I thought Jack already got reservations. So find out, because I think Jack got reservations.
And I think a lot of people were counting on it for Saturday.
Well, we'll find out. I think Jack already got reservations. So, Jack, if you want to post that in there, and we're going on about this, everybody else is like, I'm not going, so I don't care. But we'll get that, all the official stuff. And this is, mainly it was going to be for members, but it can be for anybody who wants to join us. Any public, anybody around Florida, whatever, wants to join us. It's not just our members. And so we'll try to post something on our YouTube, as well as my Facebook or Instagram. We'll post that as well. Like when we fly in and all that, we'll get some of that stuff and put that on Instagram, but also on my, on the YouTube channel, we'll put a community post too. So if you guys want to join us, so Saturday the 8th, it says, I don't know the exact time, but we'll do that. And then who knows what else we're going to do. Cause like I said, we're going to be there pretty much all day, Saturday, Sunday. And we're going to fly in on Friday and fly out on early Monday morning. So anyway, so
I was able to swing Lebo coming with us.
All right. Well, I don't need to do the what's in Tim's cup. You guys got that figured out already. No, do.
And I broke out my spring and Valentine's Day cups.
I know you got that from.
Yep. She's like, do you want it? I'm like, yes.
All right. We're gonna open up this mail here. I might need to your help on this. People tape these up because they will come undone and stuff with patches and stuff. So this in here is from
once you get one that has
Iowa.
Slightly broken open, you start to get worried and you start taping it a bit better.
And for those that are sending them, put non-machinable on there. We figured that out too. All right.
I took one down to the post office and said, what do I need to do? Do I need to get the specific stamps? Do I need to have you guys do it? What do I need to do to get this where it needs to go? 2 stamps, right? Non-machinable, and that's good.
It depends on what you put in there. Usually there's a stamp and some stickers. You're good. All right. So this in here is, they're from Iowa. Bumble_the_Bronco. That's their patch. And I'm going to start taking these out of this. Oh, and then the stickers on the other side. I like how they did that. We should. I don't know if we do that.
That's how I do that.
Do you? Okay. And then they have other stickers too.
You don't even know what's going on with your own stickers, man.
I get an assistant for that. And then this in here, which is it says Bruno, and it's a different Bronco.
Ooh, who is that?
I don't know, but it's a different color. Maybe it's just that sticker only comes in that color. And then Explore, Dream, and Discover. Love that. So pretty cool. So there's that there. And then I got another one. Some of these come in like Wednesday. So they've been sitting here since Wednesday. All right. And then this other one. Oh my gosh.
Do you need a letter opener?
I need Jeff's knife.
I can call him back right now. You got it?
I don't know.
Jeff!
I got it. This is from Texas. We're gonna be down in Texas. I will be not too long. I wanted a knife. All right, this one says, hello, Tim. Thank you so much for this awesome patch swap. I look forward to seeing all of your adventures. Enjoy the thrill of the trails always. I hope you have a great 2025 year. Texas Beast, TX Beast. So that's a pretty cool patch right there. Check that out. So those of you that are wanting to trade patches with people, then you see these cool patches. You're like, ooh, I want to trade with them. Oh, they sent a whole packet. I won't get into that. They sent a whole packet of them.
They got a cute little
So this in here is
tag in here. I want to trade with these
what's
people.
there, Ash? What's their Instagram? I think it's TX Beast.
TTB.806.
Okay, there you go. I'll take a picture of that. And then, what is this?
That's what I was saying. I like the tag.
It's a tag. Oh, it's a little Bronco. You've been bucked. So yeah, I do little horses on mine, little duck horses or whatever.
Yes.
I was gonna give it to the person that I was went up there, but he wasn't really that interested in that. All right, and this in here, they're from where? They're from Texas too.
All the
Texas
Texas
people.
peoples tonight.
And theirs is in a bunch of stickers in there as well. And theirs is LAYETI_SAS Bronco. So yeah. So I don't know if they're from Louisiana or what. Oh no, they're from Texas. We just said that. So anyway, there's how theirs is. You guys can see that, but pretty cool. I like that. So we're just getting them. We'll get them all figured out here later. There you go. I don't know if I want to eat cookies on video.
I mean, they are very tempting. They smell really good.
Oh, almost forgot this. All right. Anyway. Okay. Well, there's that. What's next? I don't even have my list in front of me. Okay. Let's get into I can just go through the media assets. We need to talk about membership and everything else. Don't forget about you can be members. Appreciate you guys for being members. We do a lot of fun stuff for our members. If you want to become a member,
you just hit the join button next to the subscribe button. Once you click on it, you'll see all the little benefits that we have. If you're an iPhone user, you have to do things differently. You go up to Lil A and Big A on your web browser and request desktop browser. At that point, you should be able to see it. You can find membership content under community and membership tabs and on your homepage now.
Yep. And I even put those into playlists. I've been starting to. So some of the older ones aren't in playlist yet. I need to do that. So yeah. So
there's too much going on.
So we do a lot walk on Thursdays unless I'm gone. So I won't be doing one this week. And then a lot walk or a live stream on Friday afternoon at 4. And again, I won't be here, so we won't do that this week. But most weeks we do, unless we're traveling. So there's that. So some fun stuff there. And then this week, since I will be traveling, we'll get you some special content for our members while we're traveling as well. So, and I've been trying to give videos early access to videos, but sometimes I'm getting it late, so I don't. Yes, in the Discord, which is real fun. So, which I've been trying to jump in a little more often.
Like the people in Discord got a special video of Christmas. So.
Yep, some special stuff. So if you like us, want to be part of our of the community, then it's $5 a month, and and we get about $3 of that. So, but yeah, it's just something fun that we like to do and have fun. And you guys get to see each other's names and special colors on the live stream, and we do special shout outs during the live stream. So let's do that.
All right, I have 30 comments start. So
all right,
start off. Clarence Roller was finally number 1. We also have Brian Foster. He's usually driving home or working right now. So we also have Patricia Ward. Sure wish this camera recall would get fixed.
So do we.
Rob Hallmark. Howdy. Where's Niles? We need a rowdy
He'll be in here.
professional in here.
He
Our
said he's-
professional rowdy
He
man.
said he was going to come in tonight.
All right, we have Douglas Blair, 19 degrees in North Virginia, loving life with my OBX Bronco. Ronald Smith, good evening to everyone on the live stream. Good Ghost Stang saying good evening, everyone. Jack Evans is here. R Quib, so cold, 6 inches of snow, and will be down to 16 degrees by morning. By next week, it will be back up to 70 degrees. Go Mississippi.
After I'm down in New Orleans.
We have Terry McGee. Good evening, all from snowy Maryland. 9 degrees. We have Mike 52G. Glad to be here. Douglas Blair, we can make up some rants. Voles, I'm interested to see how Tim explains the lightning ordering protocol. Some imports produce vehicles quarterly and let dealers bid on which vehicles they want shipped. I've heard of that system. I think Toyota. Brian Foster, hello from warm high of 75 earlier today in breezy Orange Country, California. I won't be active in the chat since I'm driving to the girls' soccer practice. We have Mid-Coast Maine. Good evening to all from Coast of Maine, where we finally get 3 to 4 inches of snow. Negative wind chills meant getting out the big coats. We have Douglas. Ford CEO Jim Farley says company is done making boring products. Well, and that's subjective because something that I consider boring might be exciting to someone else. Like we have a new media guy here and he knows nothing about cars. So while a Raptor 37 isn't too exciting to me, I mean, we see quite a few of those at this point. He was so excited about it. It was so fun to see the excitement because at this point, I'm not excited about them anymore, but he was.
Yeah.
It's really fun to see people new to the car world. Let's see. Douglas. He did the same thing with 5 tires and wheels for his Bronco. He got them for $400. That's Mike M. Hey guys, I connected to Ford Video Guy. Not sure why that came up. Anyway, hello. It's still cold down here to 5 degrees tonight, but snow went deep south.
Yeah, so I do have the live stream that goes on the McArthur channel and Ford Video Guy, and that's just so that I kind of have that record in the Ford Video Guy channel if something were to happen to this channel. So that's why it's there on both channels, but this is the one that we actually like on the McArthur. You definitely want to make sure you're looking at the McArthur channel.
Yeah.
The one with the most views, most people watching.
Or if it seems really dead in the chat, you might be on the wrong
Like
one.
nobody's chatted for a long time.
I think Ford. Oh, yep. Here we go. Ford enthusiasts. Hello, all. I was on the Ford Video Guy channel for the last 5 minutes. We have RagnerCon. He's in here. Did you hear about the cookies? Checking in from a hotel in Fort Lauderdale from Francis. Let's see. Voles wants to know, is Martinelli's still the best restaurant in Salina? It's one of the older locally owned restaurants.
I say that they do a really good job.
They do. They've kept their quality up.
Very consistent quality too. Yaya's is pretty good. I kind of like them too.
Yeah, but they're on more of the expensive side. At Martinelli's, you can share a plate of food.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, if you're a pasta person, Martinelli's is the place to go. But yeah, better than Olive Garden.
Actually came up in one of my things. Jolie and I treated ourselves to dinner one night while Mom was out of town, and we went to Martinelli's and we shared a big plate of pasta.
Ridgeview and I ate there. I think when he came last time he came here, and we ate there and we split.
Yeah. Well, and then we did of course, the member meetup there. But that's where Lebo and I had our first date was Martinelli's.
Yep. We're hoping there's supposed to be a lot of people. Restaurant.
A lot of people will use Martinelli's as the first date place. Like a lot of younger couples, high schoolers, because that was the nice restaurant. All right, Douglas Blair, putting the hash marks in cookie dough balls actually flattens them For more even baking, without being pressed, the cookies will not cook evenly. Yes, because this dough is thick enough that it won't cook evenly unless you smash it down a little bit. Unlike chocolate chip cookies, where the dough is soft enough, it will flatten itself. And Ninjas Are For Real is not a member, but no entry accepted into the park if you don't know how to drive a manual clutch. Sorry, Disney rules, not mine.
All right. Okay.
Ooh.
There's that. There we go. So yeah.
Rushman is here.
I will pull up my notes because I was thinking that there was I want to go through. I actually don't think I
All right.
have that in here. So if you're wanting, we do have merch. I actually got one of my merch shirts or sweatshirts on right now. This is a little quarter zip. Have those on our merch site. This is very comfortable. I
need another
wear
one.
this all the time at home. I throw it on.
I have the black one that I like to wear to work around the house. I need another one so I can.
It feels weird for me. Always wearing, growing up in the auto business where you wore ties and then they let us as long as without a tie, as long as it had a logo on it. And then I'm just like, you know what? I'm wearing the sweatshirt today. It felt really weird. I know for you, you've been an assistant because I don't think
so.
It's
for
as
me,
big a deal.
I was working in the picture building, so wear jeans because you never know what's going on.
Right.
When I was in the BDC, they don't really have a dress code as long as you look nice.
Yeah.
So then coming out here, assistants are supposed to follow the same dress code as the sales professionals, but I'm the only female out here on the show floor, and so I kind of follow the BDC dress code.
It's all right.
I try and look nice, but I also know I'm going out to the picture building and there's rain, snow, and other elements that I'm competing against out there.
Oh yeah.
So I don't really follow.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
I'm a special case.
I think that Tuesdays I'm going to start, but more casual and whatever. So.
But I try and dress for the weather, dress nice, so that way I'm not freezing my tail outside.
But so if you want to go to our merch site, the link should be down in the description of this video. LawMcArthur.myspreadshop.com. Now you can go to our website, FordVideoGuyMedia.com. That's a great resource if you want to follow us anyway. So the stream is on there. It's embedded right into that on the website. Also, a link to our merch site is right there as well. Also, a link to if you want to do buy me a coffee or whatever. They actually give me more money. I get 90% of what's been given comes back to me on that one, which is really, it's crazy. But anyway, check that out. And I'm trying to do more articles and everything. It's hard for me to really get into that. If I look at it and go, oh, that's not that big of a deal or whatever. But I know some people would rather read than watch a video. So I found that out a little bit on people on Facebook. Some people are like, give me the Cliff Notes version. I'm like, okay, I know some people would rather read than write than watch a video. So anyway, I need to remember that. But there is, and where I was getting to on that is if you want to go to our spread shop, there is a sale going on this week. There's free shipping going on, right? Starting 21st. So today through the 25th is free shipping on anything. No, wait, hold on. That's the wrong dates. Backtrack. The 31st through the 5th is free shipping. So, but I was thinking there was something going on this week as well. So you might check it out because I was thinking this week was because I was mentioning how they were doing something special for my birthday. So I think I already like to move that off though. Anyway, let me look. Yeah. Okay, here it is. The 22nd through the 27th, 15% off everything. So there's a Tim Bart's birthday special. That's what I'm calling it.
Wait,
sticking with it.
What were the dates?
22nd through the 27th. So through Monday, starting tomorrow through Monday.
Okay.
So there you go. There's that. So yeah. Anyway. All right. And hopefully you guys are checking out the different video series, the Maverick Mondays, the Built Wild Wednesdays, and the Super Duty Saturdays. Those videos, I've had some of those gone out. So, and I don't think I mentioned because the news came out after the Built Wild Wednesday, I think on Thursday it came out, that you can now get a guest pass, can go to Bronco Off Rodeo for $195. So if you're using your full day for the purchase of your Bronco, and you get in for free, the guests can get in for $195, and up to 3 guests in your vehicle, and into one vehicle. So up to 3 people. So $195. That is a really good deal. I think that's like $300 off for a driver and like $200 off for a rider. So it doesn't matter if they're driving or not. $195. That is a great deal. So if you haven't used yours yet, then definitely look into that and do that. So now, of course, if you buy a Bronco or Bronco Sport from us, we're also paying for your way to get there. And don't forget, that's I listened to your podcast and you had it wrong. So it's travel expenses. So flight
Right.
or hotel.
Did you see I put in, if you were listening,
Oh.
you probably didn't see it, but
No.
on the YouTube video, I did put in text.
I was listening to the podcast.
Yeah. So I did correct it with text in the video.
Yeah. So you didn't get a view from me on YouTube, but you got a listen on
Yeah, I have 4
Spotify.
listens over there.
See, I think it must be downloads. There's no way. There's got to be more than 4 people. Put a thumbs up if you listen to her podcast on Spotify, because I got a feeling that more than 4 people listen to it. It's just that's how many people downloaded it. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, I don't look at the analytics from Spotify. All right. Let's move on. So definitely check those out. Yesterday is Maverick Monday. We talked about the graphics on the Black Appearance package, that they are the same no matter what trim level it is. It's just the one I was looking at was outside and one was inside. So I thought they were different shades, and it really does look different on what kind of lighting you have. So when I looked at them, compared them in the picture building in the same exact lighting and everything, they were all the same. So XL, T, Lariat, they all have the same graphics. And what's really cool is the brand manager actually went through and double checked with the company that makes the graphics, and they said yes, they are all the same, so they were not different shades. So he even went through the effort to contact them, which I was really impressed with, because I got a lot of brand managers who won't even email me back. So we won't go ranting on that or anything, but so yeah, there's that. So I found a different route to get answers from now on. We're gonna go that route. Although I get answers differently because they treat me as media that way.
Yeah.
So I don't get the help with stuff that dealers get to do or need to do. So like the question I had for tonight's live stream, I didn't really get an answer for that because they don't know anything about ordering. So it's just what they're told. Anyway, don't forget about channels for support, especially Johnny's Car Can Reviews. I think he did a video a couple of days ago I watched, and pray for Marie. I know that, and hopefully we'll get to see him, hang out with him in February. So that'd be really cool. So yeah.
So Jack Evans said he canceled his Bronco off-road the other day. He had to cancel the guest, so that's a $95 cancel fee. Then had to add the new guest, but still saved him $250.
Right.
That they wouldn't do it any other way.
I'm trying to go non-rant today, but
they're trying to keep all the money they can.
Anyway, all right.
But he still saved $250.
Yeah, I know, but shame on them. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the deal. If you order a vehicle, let's just go back and do it this way. If you ordered a vehicle, a Maverick, you're price protected to what it was when you ordered. But if the price is cheaper, not more expensive when it comes in, then you get the cheaper price when it comes in. Just like rebates. If you get locked into the rebates when you ordered, but also when it comes in, you get to pick what you want. If they lower the price down, they should give everybody that saw that lower price. And I get it. It's kind of like, okay, when you go into Walmart, they're going to give you, hey, the sale price runs from this date to this date. Here's the price, into sale, whatever. But you haven't gone there yet. So definitely go, well, I could just cancel altogether. Anyway, but yeah, there you go. Well, at least you got some money back, but still $95 cancellation fee. Whatever. Okay. I guess I did rant, but there we go. We're on. Moving on. Do you have a good dealer?
I do.
Go to something positive.
All righty. Ed Hahn at Basil. Wait. Where's the...
Oh. Where's my cursor? It's up there.
All right. We have Ed Hahn at Basil Ford in What's WNY? West New York?
Probably because they do like to separate that east upper New York and
Okay.
West New York.
So I am guessing, okay, this New York, because they put in their contact information for the dealership here. So this is off of Maverick Truck Club, off of our post. So we have Ed Hahn at Basil Ford in West New York. Has been great to work with so far. Just waiting for the truck to show up from being built. 2025 Ford Maverick XLT all-wheel drive with Lux package and 4K tow package in Velocity Blue. And he special ordered it. He was recommended by a gentleman that he had worked for years, and he moved up in the dealership. The daughter and son-in-law have also dealt with him. So go to Ed Hahn at Basil Ford in West New York. It says Cheektowaga? No. West New York. We're going with West New York.
Yeah, so people because I noticed that I actually watched or listened to the 2 football games while I was driving on Saturday, Sunday, and Buffalo is in New York, but they're in West New York, so they do make a big deal, people in West New York, that it's West New York. And I know that like upstate, I think is like eastern upper part of New York. But
so Ed Hahn at Basil Ford in West New York.
All right, let's move on to. It's funny is we're going to talk about scheduling, but later we're going to talk about Lightning. And the vehicle that we still use for that slide is my F-150 Lightning. That was mine coming off the production line. All right. So this week, now we do those in a separate video at 6:30 p.m. So if you want to see scheduling information video, that video goes live at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 30 minutes before this. So it's kind of like a pre-show to the show. Anyway, it's usually under 30 minutes. So I started at 6:30. So hopefully you got a chance to see that. But if not, let's briefly go through this, and then we'll answer any questions you have on scheduling during this section of our live stream. So on the basically every model is scheduling this week, and about all of them are scheduling for March production dates, with the exception like F-150. I think they're scheduling for February 17th, the week of, through the week of March 17th. And Super Duty is the week of the 24th of February through March 10th if it's in Kentucky, or the 17th if it's through Ohio. So, but for the most part, everybody else is following with the March date. So everybody's scheduling this week. Last week was retail only, specialty scheduling for some of those models. This week is regular main commitment. And when they say main commitment, that means that if you have a retail order, it's going to be looked at first, because again, the lower the priority, the better. And then it's going to fulfill the allocation with a stock. So for like us last week on like Maverick, for instance, we had 6 allocations this month. We didn't take all of our allocations that we were offered. We were offered 26. We took 6 because we already know we have those 80, and we're hoping we could sell those this month, but we're whatever. Anyway, so we didn't take all of them. We took 6. Because we had 4 unscheduled orders, and then we wanted a couple extras in case some people ordered with us. So last week, all 4 of those unscheduled orders got scheduled. So now we have 2 allocations left. So what happens this week is if we received a retail order, then that will schedule. Otherwise, it's going to schedule the stocks for us for this week. So in the first couple of weeks, they want to schedule out for the primary of the month, but they do want to fulfill dealers' allocations. And that was the other big thing. Last week's scheduling video, a lot of people were asking, why isn't mine scheduled? And I must have this, or there's must be something wrong. And I said, it could be as simple as your dealership doesn't have any allocations. I mean, that's the hard thing about this is that a dealer needs an allocation to get your order scheduled. Just because you have an order doesn't mean you automatically, the dealer's going to receive an allocation for your order. It doesn't work that way. The dealer earns the allocation not based on orders taken, but based on their sales volume of prior year. So it has nothing to do with how many orders they have. We could take 100 orders for the Maverick, and we're only selling 20 a month. We're only going to get 20 or so allocations. That's just that's just the way it works. So whether you like it or not. So that's why having that candid conversations with your dealer, saying, how many allocations do you typically get? How many allocations do you have this month? I mean, we know now last week was the first week, so this might be different, but how many allocations do they have? And then go, okay, well, that's good. Then ask, how many unscheduled retail orders do you have? Because that's the other key point that they can look up. And some of them might say, well, there's no way for us to be able to look that up. Well, there is. You can actually do a search. You can actually click on each of the columns, and you can schedule out, hey, I only want to see retail orders. And then now I only want to see the unscheduled orders. So you can do in 2 columns, you can get rid of all the schedules and all the stocks and just get unscheduled retail orders, and you can see how many there are. That's how I knew we only had 4. So anyway, so that's how that works. For the most part, Mustang scheduling just fine. There's a couple notes in there there's one for Dark Horse. Escape didn't really have any notes. Bronco Sport, they're still needing some of those Black Diamond off-road packages. We have like 5 in stock, and they are really cool. They're pretty cool Bronco Sports, and you get them a $750 discount on those. And then also, it's going to be hard to get a stock Big Ben scheduled, it looks like. Not that they won't, it's just it might be difficult. Bronco, they're wanting some Outer Banks orders with the 2.3, and they molded in hardtop or the soft top. So you can tell a lot of people ordering the black painted or the body colored hardtop. In fact, that's one of the constraints, is not only Sasquatch is a constraint, but also Outer Banks with a hardtop painted. That's the body colored option, I believe. Mach-e, there's no really, other than dealers can't order a select extended range all-wheel drive for stock. That's only retail only. Explorer, not a lot, other than ST version is a constraint. Black painted roof and keypad entry, which last week I said they were finally scheduling keypad, and so some people might question, well, why is it a constraint this week then? Well, that's because they probably scheduled out all their availability of those last week. So then that leaves maybe just a select number that they could schedule this week. That right? Kind of fill in. Like if I got 10 fingers, right? And I've used 8 of the fingers. I only have 2 fingers left. That's kind of how that works. So anyway, and then Expedition is didn't schedule last week. It's scheduled this week, which is good because I think we have the Platinum order that we may be taking instead of the trimmer that I put in for us. So hopefully that'll get scheduled. It does say King Ranch is a constraint, active 4x4, also the Space Gray with the active version, and Stealth. Those are constraints. So Platinum is not. So good to go there. See what else. Maverick, no major things. Tremor is very limited, which surprises me a little bit because I don't think there are a lot of Tremor orders, but Tremor was a constraint. Also all-wheel drive and also hybrid. And it's funny because you can't get an EcoBoost front-wheel drive. So I don't know what they're looking for. They're probably, to be honest, though, most of their allocations got scheduled. So I'll be interested to see on ours, since they'll probably schedule 2 stocks for us, what they select from that. I mean, usually what they'll do is they'll add orders in for us based on what they plan to schedule that week, and I can get a good idea of what they're looking to do.
Yeah.
Ranger, nothing. It says previewing full. I really didn't, for some reason. Actually, I didn't think Ranger was scheduling this month. Let me look. I do have the notes here from the beginning of the month. Ranger, yeah. Oh, the plant's down for 2 weeks on Ranger. So they're probably already scheduled most everything. I know that they're going to focus in on Raptor, but we got 0 Raptor allocations, so that was kind of a buzzkill. And then, yeah, so just 2 weeks of Ranger. So they are scheduled for Ranger, but only a couple weeks, and we got 0 allocations for Ranger, which is really weird. Maybe it'll help that we sold 5 already this month. So, see what else. Ranger, Super Duty. Kind of told you about that. The same notes before. Take off your spray and liners off. And also the wheel that's in the black appearance package is a constraint, but otherwise nothing else is. So F-150, cleanup scheduling. They're trying to wrap up job 1 on an F-150. And they are still needing some Raptor orders without a tonneau cover, without the twin panel moonroof for the 802A and 803A. And then a hybrid motor is a constraint. So, and then Transit also is fine. They are needing. The only constraint is low roof passenger van. So, all right. Any questions while I went through that? Kind of did the overview, so that gives them some idea to throw those in there. So,
No questions.
all right. I haven't got an update on Zoom's Maverick. Have you? Did they figure anything out yet? What that was?
No, I haven't
I
yet.
know they're trying to contact engineering to see what's going on, but I think we got more issues with Maverick than that. So
yeah,
because we had some that just came in, and a lot of them are having some issues that have just arrived. So I don't know. There must have been. I don't know when the ones that arrived. I think were made in December. So I don't know if we're having some issues with some of the December builds because,
yeah.
There's also an issue with the keypads, the dealer installed options on the keypads, not just for Maverick, F-150 as well. So Blake says none of them are coding and
That's
none
right.
of them are programming.
Yeah.
And so they're having to, because it's a dealer installed option, and if it's programming, they can't just take one from aftermarket and put on it. They actually have to contact Ford and they have to send them a new one. It's a headache. But a lot of the keypads are not working right now, which is funny because we had one that came in that you took a picture of, and that one was fine.
Yes.
So anyway, so some of them are not. We had that issue last year. Remember that last year when we were having some issues with the new keypad, the DIO keypad last year. They'll get it figured out, but it's kind of hard because we have like 6 Mavericks that people want to take delivery of, and they can't because of the keypad or because of the some other issues. We've had some. I don't want to. I hate putting a rumor out there, but we're having some that I think it might be a backup camera issue with the new 25. I don't know. We have a couple that have arrived that have had issues. I think it's a software thing. Same way that's going on with Zooms is I think it's a software thing too.
Just a couple of bugs.
Which it probably is just something that's a little loose that wasn't plugged in right. Is what that's what Adam thinks it is. It's just something that if he probably went and just pulled all the different electronic wires and plugged them all in, it probably would work. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All right. So Mike 52G had a question. Okay. Is there such a thing as trimmer orange color? I heard that on another YouTube and was wondering. Yes.
So they call it active orange.
Yes.
Active orange is the actual color. So the orange of the graphics, right? Yeah. And now this year they were able to add that same active orange into the interior because it was
so close to the XLT orange accents.
Yeah, so
they couldn't have them in the factory at the same time.
Yeah, you actually talked to the interior, the person that did the interior.
Because I mentioned, I was like, oh man, so moving to that grabber blue then opens up that interior for that trimmer orange. And she goes, oh yeah. That's because the two colors are so similar that we couldn't have the accents in the factory at the same time because they would get mixed up. So now, because they added grabber blue to the interior of the XLT, we can now have trimmer orange.
Yes. So the accents inside, I don't know if the
trimmer orange in the Maverick is the same as the trimmer orange in F-150 and other trimmer lines. Yes. So that active orange is across all trimmer models.
You see it on the spoke on the wheel. You see it on some other areas, but yeah. What they really need to do is black appearance package, in my opinion, trimmer, and
is that did Ford have some continuity there?
I don't know. So I think that what they need to do is on the tailgate, the Maverick letters, I think black appearance package, they need to fill in with black there. And I think on the trimmer, they need to fill that in with a special either trimmer orange or something. They could be doing something there. They do it on the look at the black appearance package on the F-150. They actually do add the black in the F-150 on the back of the tailgate. They could do that with Maverick with the black appearance package. That's something that maybe I'll have to suggest that to the brand manager. Maybe that'll end up coming around next year. We'll see.
But we know that Ford doesn't move things between models very easily. So having the trimmer orange or that active orange across all trimmers is actually pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, because they don't always do that. Like right now, I do think that the screen on the Maverick in Bronco Sport is the same screen that's on the Escape. And in 23, when that was one of the holdup on the Escape was they were having issues with that screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
why doesn't that plant talk to the other plant that builds the escape? Why don't they talk to each other and say, this is what we found out that fixed it? Right? Anyway, probably the same engineers for both plants. So anyway, all right, and go into that. What other questions about scheduling? Somebody said, "Where's my Maverick?" I don't know. If you ordered it with us, I could probably do some research and find it. But
He did not.
well, then I don't know.
No sale.
You gotta talk to your dealer.
Yeah. No sale order. The issue is 24 F. That moved. Oh, okay. That's the new janitor. The issue is 2024 Ford Maverick backup camera. The video feed freezes when in reverse. So it doesn't just go blank, it actually just freezes. So then it looks like you're actually getting the feed, but you're not.
Yeah. You want to go tell him that we're live and that whistling comes over the microphones? Oh no, I just lost a screen. Luckily not the right screen. I got two screens. All right. Anyway. But okay. All right. Let me jump into questions because I made her go do that. All right, we're going to talk about lightning a little bit later. So I'll just start for the F-150. Oh, this is a good question. So this has to do with scheduling. So question for Tim: when does Job 2 start for F-150? So the Job 2 schedule or production, I don't have production date exactly. I do know that like this week they're trying to balance out for Job 1, which I believe is February build dates. And so then they're going to move to Job 2 after that. So it's going to start real soon for production, but ordering for Job 2 is already running. So anyway, they're just, again, like this week in the notes, it does say in here that it's for Job 1, spec changes and cancellations are turned off. Was he upset that you said something? Oh, we'll have to have the GM talk to him. All right.
I got a glare.
All right. So there's that. So, all right. And let's see, any other questions about scheduling? So, let's just see, it's trim orange color. Yeah. So we answered that one too about the trim orange.
We
so.
did.
All right. Any other questions? So we might leave okay. Yeah, we can leave that for lightning. So there's a question about lightning. So, all right. Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, unless something came in right here. All right. Then, all right. So we'll get into the dealer news updates then and go through some of those. So, all right. So, some of the dealer news updates, some of these really have to do with just the dealers themselves. Talking about how the remote experience and everything, and then some of the changes to remote experience for 25, pickup delivery and such like that. So if you're a dealer, you might check that notice. It's an EFC 16075 on those, some of those changes, because they used to do is they reimburse dealers back for pickup and delivery and such, and they are discontinuing that because they want dealers to just take care of that out of their own expenses, and we're going to continue with that. So we'll see what dealers do and don't continue with that. This other one is on, that has to do with the same thing, service pickup and such. And then we're going to talk about Job 2 order updates, because that one actually came through, which is what made me think of doing the topic for tonight. And then they did make some changes to the FCP program. So not a lot for FCP, Ford Commitment Program.
Oh,
so okay. That there is basically
too many acronyms.
So FCP is what dictates our allocations in that formula and such. So there were some changes fourth quarter for that will continue for this quarter, but also I think that they were some of your remote pickup and delivery and such considered into that, but they made some changes on that. So this one actually is dated December. Oh, this is dated in December. It's not even new. I think I kept it because I wanted to look at it, but So there you go. All right. So really not a lot of dealer news updates. They did kind of also go through and let dealers know about their efforts to help those in LA with the wildfire out there. And so I know that's this came through January 15th, just from Ford, just to let dealers know what their efforts are and if people want to help and support, where they can go to do that. So if they want to donate, they can go to Team Rubicon and go to their website, and they're helping with some of that down there. And also, of course, American Red Cross, if they want to donate blood, they can do that. And then Feeding America as well is they are doing that for the LA Regional Food Bank down there. So they're going to need a lot of help with that, right? To get back on their feet. And then also there is a Los Angeles, if you want to donate, they're going to help donate to a Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation and the California Community Foundation Wildfire Fund. So those are especially there might be some places out there that are going to take advantage of the situation and try to put some fake funds out there. So it's always good to know which ones are legit and that you should look for and help with and donate to, other than other ones that maybe aren't legit, right?
Reach out to Shelby Hall. I saw that she's in Florida right now helping out with her Bronco and everything.
She's probably teaming up with Team Rubicon as part of that, I would assume.
Yeah, possibly. So, I know that I saw her
they do
Rebel Bronco out there, and they were getting stuff out of it and whatnot.
Okay. So they said to volunteer, if you want to volunteer, if you're in that area, that you can volunteer with us through Team Rubicon, and then also American Red Cross, and through the food bank, the LA Regional Food Bank. So they mentioned that. And then also volunteers are critical to success operations, and the World Central Kitchen asks that anyone interested in supporting register on their website. So anyway, so yeah, so there you go. So well, things
that is really cool.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have for that. Eat your cookie.
Eat my cookie.
Yeah. All right. And then recalls. What are they with the recalls? They're down here.
Oh my gosh.
There's 3 or 4.
I know there's a lot of information in those.
Yeah, they're all 2-pagers, but because there's some of it's on the second page. So, all right. All right, recalls. This first one is safety recall 25S03. This is for 25 model year Aviator and Explorers. So this in here affects only 258 vehicles built on September 17th, 2024. One day. They found that one quick. This in here says some of the affected vehicles, the transmission cross-member bolt may not have sufficient mounting torque of 80 nm nanometers, I think, or 59.0 foot-pounds, or they may be missing. So anyway, so that's that. And does say owners are expected to be mailed the week of February 10th, 2025 or sooner. So there you go. All right, there's that.
Should I go tell them that the slamming won't really work because it's just high-pitched noises?
All right, the next one is Special Field Action 24L09, 24 model year Econoline and F Series, or F Super Duties, I should say, and 24 to 25 model year Medium Duty. That's your F650s and 750s. Equipped with the gas engines. So this in here, 593 vehicles are affected by this, so not a lot on this in here. In the affected vehicles, the engine oil fill cap may be marked with 5W20 instead of the correct 5W30 marking. As a result, confusion may result in regarding the correct fuel or engine oil, I should say. So it does say in here that pending approval, owner letters are expected to be mailed the week of April 14th, 2025 or sooner. So usually there's some things that has to go through Ford Legal on that. So that's why they say projected of when that should go out. So that one's a small one. It's just the wrong label on it, right? So anyway.
Yeah.
This next one is an advance notice on safety recall 24S01. This is for 21 to 24 model year Broncos. The 148,415 vehicles are affected by this recall. And some of the affected vehicles, the rear shock absorbers may experience corrosion between the external reservoir, mounting flange, and the damper body. This may result in degradation of the external reservoir welds, causing fluid leaks near the rear wheels, noise, separation of the external reservoir, and or bouncy ride. Rear shock absorbers, external reservoir that separates from the vehicle can create a potential road hazard for other road users, increasing the risk of a crash. So this in here, it does say do not demonstrate or deliver 24s with this recall. So we might have some issues there because we got a bunch of Broncos.
Yeah.
So we'll see. My vehicle's not affected by this. You know why? I don't have my stock shocks anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Letters, it says owners of record will be notified via first class mail after repair instructions and parts ordering information has been provided to dealers. So that's kind of the same memo I had on the Maverick one. And some people said, well, I already received a letter. And I'm like, I didn't think they were going out because I thought that was just an advance notice they were going out yet. But maybe they decided to send those out and I just didn't know it. But plus, I know that on the Maverick recall with the camera, there was an initial recall, and I think they got letters, but because they thought they had a fix, but then they didn't. So anyway, so there's that. This next one is an advance notice as well for safety recall 24S02. When we say advance notice, it means they don't have the fix yet. Just saying that. This one's here 24S02, and this is for 21 to 23 model year Bronco Sport and 22 to 23 model year Maverick vehicles with a 12-volt enhanced flooded battery, EFB, manufactured by Camel 12-volt battery inspection. Clarence, this might be yours. Remember, Clarence was having issues with his battery. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. Maybe they finally figured it out. I don't know. Anyway, this says 266,842 vehicles are affected by this recall. It said in some of the affected vehicles containing a 12-volt battery manufactured by Camel, engineering part number LX6T 10655 FA, FA located on the top of battery. So check that out, Clarence, if you have that. The battery may experience internal weld and or cast on strap failures, which could lead to a sudden battery degradation while driving, it says. If the battery suddenly degrades during a drive, it can lead to a vehicle that is unable to restart after an auto start-stop event or experience a stall while coming to a stop at low speeds. Either of these conditions may be accompanied by a loss of 12-volt accessories, including hazard lights. A loss of motor power can increase the risk of a crash. I wondered if it could also affect, because I know that Clarence, he was having issues with his being able to remote start and keep and have to get on that trickle charger. So maybe this is it. Anyway, it says owners of record will be notified via first class mail after repair instructions and parts ordering information has been provided. Again, this is an advanced recall, so just keep that in mind. But you can check for that. So on the top of your battery, it says it's part number LX6T hyphen 10655 hyphen or dash FA. That says located on the top of battery. So I hope that would, I mean, I don't want to say I hope that that's what, that Clarence has that, but I hope that's at least he can figure out a fix if that's it.
Because this is a first edition 22.
Right.
That he's had the problem its entirety.
This says 22 to 23. And it says Mavericks built February 3rd, 21 through October 20th of 22.
Yeah.
Which would be almost all of them. It'd be all of the 22s.
Yep.
Not necessarily all of them are affected by this, but the date ranges are the entire model year for 22, as well as, if I remember right, the entire model year for 23. So,
but he's been looking for a fix for this for
maybe this is it.
This entire time.
I printed that twice. Okay, so that's it. So that's them. So there you go. Woo-hoo. Maybe. Anyway, I don't know if Clarence was still listening in, but anyway. All right. There's that.
Okay.
I don't have anything else. Is it true?
Yes. Let's get into it.
Hold on a second. I don't really have an is it true, but I guess we could do an is it true rolled right into on my mind. How about that?
There we go.
So is it true that you can order a 2025 Ford F-150 Lightning from your dealer?
No.
I don't believe so because I can't. I've tried. I can't.
So have I.
I can't do it. But there are some people from at Ford that says that you can. So Ford marketing, in fact, the electric vehicle line communications manager said you can order one, and I think that they were told that by Ford, but I can't. Now I noticed that if I was a fleet company and I ordered that as a fleet, then I could. So what they said is that you could order a retail but not a stock. And I'm like, okay, I get that. That's fine. But I can't even order retail. I put in retail order type and it grays out everything other than I could order a pro version. I think. Hold on. I might need to look that up for sure. But I haven't been able to order an XLT, a Flash, a Lariat. I tried all of them. It's grayed out. It says that I have this commodity constraint. In fact, let me pull that up so you guys can see that. I'll show you exactly what I'm seeing. And Ford may not be happy that I'm posting this up there, but
While you're looking, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the image that I get if I try to order about any trim levels. I get this little, got to add it to the stage. There we go. So I get this thing here, make it a little bigger, that says in there, it said when I try to order, unable to perform this action due to the following feature constraint. And then you can see I try to order in a Flash, which is 312A. So it says constraint type, controlled commodity. So it will not let me order any of those. So I can try ordering a Pro, but I believe it won't let me do that. So, yeah, so I can't order one. So I've been saying all along that there's no way to order one. If you look on Ford.com, which we'll pull up in just a second, when we get to the On My Mind, that you can't, it's not there yet either. So the bill and price isn't online either. So, which I have some information on that I did gain some knowledge about as well. So the reason this was brought up is, well, let's just do this.
Into On My Mind.
So the reason this is brought up is that this week we got information on the 17th that the F-150 Lightning Job 2 order bank is now open. And I was like, well, what's the point of an order bank open up if I can't actually order one? So that's why I was like, what? Well, this is kind of crazy. So I can't even order one. So why would I worry about that? And why would you show all these different changes for the Job 2 order guide from Job 1 when I can't order one? And so I think that even Ford thought you can order one. But I think there's not as many people ordering them or trying to that. I don't know. Anyway, maybe there's a glitch with the ordering system that they need to fix. One of the things I don't like is on F-150 Lightning, you actually use the same body codes as the F-150. So what I hate about that is that, except for the Pro, I believe, is that it makes it really I mean, you go to F-150 XLT trim 4x4, you put that body code in, and then the PEP code though is different. It's the Lightnings are different, which isn't that difficult, but it'd be nice having their own body code for those. But anyway, so but I do want to go over the order guide changes for Job 2, and let me go ahead and pull up. I'm going to need to make this smaller. Let me go ahead and pull up this here. There you go. I made it about the right size. All right. So I want to pull up the build and price. So you may not be able to see this, but and if you go into vehicles and you go to electrified vehicles and F-150 Lightning, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can see 24 model year and everything here. Hey, I can get an exclusive cash offer, a reward. All right. So you can see that I can search inventory for 24 model year because that's available. And I can build a 24 and I can find one because they're already at those retail replenishment centers. RRC is what they call those. And so when you go to search inventory, that's exactly what you're getting is find at your local dealer. You can see there, you can't, it's not saying build and price, it's saying, find there. So you can search inventory. So when you look at this, here's what's funny is you can't have my opinion. Within 20 miles of this, you can see we're the only dealership. It says we have 49. I can tell you we do not have 49 Lightnings on our lot. So you're not seeing what's actually on our lot. We have 4 available right now on our lot. So this will actually show you in stock, right? And then these say available in 10 days. That means it's available at the replenishment center. So of these 49, 45 are available at those different centers, which every dealer in the region has access to as well. So if I were to go out on this and say, and we've covered this before, but let's say I pick further distance, let's say 100 miles, you're going to see it's going to go from 49 to 100 plus. And that is because you're seeing every dealer's. But watch this. If I go to, let's say I go to Midway, because they probably don't have any in stock. They say 46. Ours is 49. So it must be showing the 3 in stock here. So we must have sold one today. If you go to Hillsboro for those magical 46, let's go to Valor. 46. You see what I'm getting at? So all these dealers have access to those same 46 units that are available in the next 10 days, right? So that's how that works. And again, we have 3 extras because we have 3 flashes in stock as well on our lot, because we went ahead and bought some of those vehicles at the retail or the replenishment centers. Now, a lot of dealers don't even know that. You can go ahead and not only the customers have access to this. So if I want to purchase as a customer this one here that's not at McArthur, but it's at that retail replenishment center, I can go in there and I can buy it, and it'll be sent to, I pick my dealer, it'll be sent to McArthur if I pick that as my dealer, and then they can pick it up. So that's how that works on the Lightning. Different than a Mach-E. Mach-E, you can order it just like any other vehicle. Lightning, right now, you can't order it unless something changes and they show me that I'm doing something wrong. I don't see that you can order one. Now on 24s, they want to, and I think one of the reasons is they want to sell down these 24s before they're showing 25s. Because I know that 25 model year, I can kick off of this. So I do know for the fact that 25 model year is being produced. They're being produced along with the F-150s. So there are 2025 Ford F-150 Lightnings that are being produced. We don't know configurations, VIN numbers, or anything like that yet because they're not showing up on Ford.com. I was told in about 2 weeks they would show up there.
Okay.
So I do know Job 2s aren't being built yet, which is what the changes I want to go through in today's video. Or in this section is to kind of go through what those changes are going to look like for you. But that's how you get a 25. So you can't just you can't just order one right now. Now, if you're a fleet company and you're buying a bunch of them, yeah, you can do that. You can order fleets. I also thought for some reason that Pro version was only going to be available for fleet, but I might be wrong there. So I don't know for sure on that. So for some reason I thought I saw that somewhere, but I haven't seen it since. So I might be totally wrong. And the order guide does not say on the Pro that it's only available for fleet as well. So that I'm probably wrong. So so let's talk about some of the changes for the 25 for the Job 2. And it says in here, Job 2 order banks opened up. They have opened up already. I can't remember the date. It says here January 8th is when Job 2 order bank opened up for the Lightning. But again, you can't place an order. But basically anything I think built in March will be Job 2. And so here's some of the changes, because there are some significant changes, especially to the batteries. So one of the things you'll see on this, there is a dark elements package that is now available on the Platinum trim. So I don't know if you guys remember, there was a black Platinum package that was available there for a while where they did a vinyl wrap on it and everything. So we don't see that this year, but we see this black elements package being introduced for Job 2. And that's the same wheel, it looks like, 22-inch black paint aluminum wheel, a black premium Nirvana leather seats, black Ford ovals, the black series badging, black tailgate badging, and the black retro reflective vinyl bedside batching as well. So you're going to see that. So that's a package that is available on the Platinum. I think it was a smart move because I think a lot of people with the vinyl wrap didn't go over as well as they thought it did. I saw them at the auto shows, and yeah, it was just a vinyl put on, and several of them there was some flaws in it. But also this for this one here, and they said for job 2, but I thought that was already included in job 1, and that is when you get the mobile power cord, you're also getting the fast charging adapter for the NAS chargers, so that those Tesla chargers. So and then also space white will be available for job 2, which is not available for job 1. So that's pretty cool. And it does say in all series, so every trim level. And then on the Flash series, 312A trucks will receive a new battery pack for job 2. So there you go, as well as the Pro version if you add the extended range. So both of those will get a new battery. So when I say a new battery, it's a smaller battery. So the before job 1 was a 131 kilowatt hour battery, and now it's going to be a 123 kilowatt hour battery. So it's going to take your range from 320 to 300. So that's going to lower that range. Also, your horsepower gets affected by this. Instead of 580 horsepower, it's 536 horsepower. The same torque, 775 though, and the same towing capabilities. If you have the max trailer tow package and everything, is still 10,000 pounds. Your amount to charge it though is going to be faster because it's a smaller battery, of course. That just makes sense. But those are some significant changes. So again, Flash, which comes standard, will get that battery. The Lariat and Platinum will still get the 131 kilowatt. So there was 3 battery packs that they're going to have for the Lightning. So Platinum and Lariat will get the 131. XLT will get the 98 as well as the Pro. But on the Pro, you can add as an optional equipment the 123 kilowatt extended range, and then the Flash will come standard with the 123 kilowatt. So hopefully I made that clear. And then tailgate step is now optional on Flash series. So it was, I believe that was standard. It's now optional. Wireless charging pad is now standard on Lariat series instead of Flash. So Flash does not get wireless charging pad. Got to go to Lariat for that. So a couple of different changes there on those. So if you start seeing, I guess my point is on this, these are changes for job 2, is some of the early F-150 Lightnings for 25 that you see at those retail replenishment centers or on their website, then you're going to see those. It'll look different than what I just mentioned. So this is going to be for anything probably built showing up at those retail replenishment centers in probably late March, early April. So any of the early ones, grab one of those. So if you're one of those of like, hey, I don't like Tim, you might say, Tim, I don't like that Flash now is 123 versus the 131. Then grab an early 25. That's what I say. Is get one now before job 2 starts, and there's still some available. So also keep your eye on that when you're looking when it's transitioning over, because there's going to be some of those job 1s and job 2s at the replenishment centers or on Ford's build and buy for a little while. And so you want to make sure you look for the one that you want, right? And again, having some changes. Wireless charging pad will on a job 1 will still be on a Flash, and I think the tailgate step as well will be on the Flash. And now that'll be optional, and you won't have the wireless charging pad. So if that's some things that are deal breakers for you, then you can go that route. So anyway, so there's that. So have we thrown any? Let's just throw this out. Are any questions about that? I want to make sure I clarify that and go through that. But that is, again, they said that 25s will show up on Ford.com within a couple weeks. So they said they're about 2 weeks away. Well, I don't know if they actually said 2 weeks. Let me actually look at my email here. No, that wasn't on that email. I'll have to look. Anyway, I'll find it. But are there any questions? Go ahead and pop those up while I'm trying to find this.
All right. So Clarence Roller said that it's -4 degrees outside, so he'll wait until morning and check that.
Right.
He'll call his Ford mechanic and see if he has that advance notice. And he got an answer already. His Ford mechanic just returned the answer and says that you are right. His mechanic has the advance notice.
Yeah.
Most likely his vehicle is part of it.
That's part of what the issue is. I hope so. I hope it fixes it. when they get the fix, right?
Yeah.
Here's probably the easy fix: replace the battery. But wait, because they'll pay for it, and I know that's what you've been waiting for.
So Midcoast Maine says, will Ford reimburse me for replacing my 12-volt battery due to 24 SO2?
I don't know. You would think that they would, because they would be able to see that your VIN number had that battery, and then, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you replace it through Ford, a Ford dealer, they might be able to track that and prove that, and then get you reimbursed. But if you did it yourself, probably not. I don't know.
I think part of that the warranty is having it done by a mechanic.
A Ford dealer, probably.
Yeah.
All right. So I found this. They did say Ford.com will be updated in the next weeks with 25 information. So that'll be showing up on Ford.com in the next couple of weeks. So next weeks it says. So anyway,
okay. So we had some questions about fleet.
Okay.
So
what is it?
Let's see. How many vehicles qualify you as a fleet?
I think 5 or more.
Right, I can't answer that. 5 new vehicles a year, or maintain a fleet of 15 or more vehicles. And then he asked, and
you have to register that through, I think, their website.
Yes. But then he says, to qualify as a customer, yes, you have to buy at least 5 new vehicles to start out. Or you can work with a fleet management company, or you can just buy vehicles outside of the fleet program. But if you can only get a Pro as a fleet vehicle, or you can only get a Lightning as a fleet vehicle, you would want to be within the fleet program.
Yeah.
Here we go. Are replenishment sensors for multiple Ford models or just a Lightning distribution?
Just Lightning.
Okay.
I mean, so there is something that they do have rapid replenishment. They were doing for a while on other models, and certain configurations that they had, like ones that they knew they could build. So basically, when they're like, "Hey, we don't have a lot of orders," or dealers putting in orders, they were trying to build certain ones, and they had those, so where you could just grab those real quick and have them. I don't know if they're doing that much. I don't see that we get any in like that. But there for a while, you could, you basically earned allocations, and then certain models would have rapid replenishment, and those come from those centers. And then they would say, "Hey, you earned, 5 rapid replenishments," and then you'd have them at your lot within a month, usually within weeks. So if we get one, since ours is in Kansas City, if we get one, usually within a week, it's here.
Yeah.
So that's why that says 10 days. That's usually pretty accurate. So.
Yep. Now, Henry, I did see your comment there. We're trying to stay out of the political side of things, like the EV mandate, tariffs, things like that.
I don't mind talking about the EV one.
Okay.
The tariffs, I just don't. He did say I think I did see something where February 1st, they might do tariffs. I just want to see how that affects it, because just because they apply the tariffs doesn't mean Ford's going to pass that on to us.
Yeah.
More likely they will, but we don't know for sure. So I figure let's cross that bridge when we get to it. So there's sometimes I don't have to address something because it never really happens.
Mm-hmm.
We've had that happen, so we'll cross that bridge. So
yeah.
Thanks for putting that out there though. But on the EV mandate, I think that's we're talking EV here. Why not?
Yeah.
But what Trump said is let people buy what they want to buy. I'm not going to put a mandate anymore. I'm going to release the mandate. Basically, what Ford was doing, or what the government was doing, was saying if your EPA wasn't a certain point, or whatever your CAFE was a certain point, then you couldn't produce the ones that were the higher miles per gallon vehicles like Super Duties, because you didn't hit that number that you were supposed to for the year, right? And so he's basically taken that away. So there's no mandate that says that you need to hit this. And there's a lot of manufacturers that are like clapping, right? There's a lot of because it is not easy to sell EVs. I mean,
no.
And we're at a dealer,
unless you're in a certain area.
Now, Ford is still requiring that, and maybe Ford will change that. But our FCP and our allocations are still based on that. Now, that might change after what happened yesterday and what Trump said. We'll just have to see. But anyway, I don't want to get into whether you agree or disagree with Trump. I'm not going to get any political like that.
Yeah.
That's gotten in some trouble in the past. We don't want to do that. But whether or not, but for this, in this case, talking about EVs and that mandate of what could happen, again, we'll wait and see if it happens for one.
Yeah.
But I think that,
Well, then someone said, well, there goes the mandate. Guess Tesla is going to be the only EV that lasts.
well,
but we're seeing the Mustang Mach-E having better sales than the Mustang.
yeah. But here's the question is will we see those great leases now that they don't have to hit the mandate?
Oh,
Right. We're seeing those leases because Ford has to sell the EVs to hit that number they need to, so they can sell the Super Duties and F-150s, which is what our bread and butter is, right?
Does Mustang contribute to that? Like regular,
no,
like the regular Mustang.
It will affect, yeah. So for us to sell like cool cars like Mustangs and Broncos, like my Bronco that gets 15 miles per gallon, right? That hurts that, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why they want you to.
Okay.
I know every time I turn, people are complaining that every time I turn and look at you, you can't hear me. So, but yeah, I mean, so we'll see. But that, like I said, a lot of manufacturers are like, yes, because like for right now on Ford's side, our allocations can be plus or minus based on what we sell for EVs. Now for us, we do a pretty good job because we still try to push them. And to be honest though, like for mach-e, we've been selling them. But who have we been selling them to? You know this.
I don't really know. Oh, employees?
Thank you. Our employees are buying them because they know, because on a lease, when you get a D plan or a price plan pricing, it really affects you on a lease a lot more drastically. So we've been seeing some employees leasing vehicles, Mach-E's for $300 a month.
Less. I think one.
I won't tell you what mine is. You guys will be mad.
I think one guy got his for $200 with a down payment.
Yeah, I mean mine was, I traded a vehicle in, which is what helped mine wouldn't be as low.
Well, and it helped that they were like, okay, so all of our sales team needs to drive an EV home at some point to get a feel for the EV, so that way we can sell it better. And then after, like, one of our ladies drove one home, and the next time we had a Mach-E, she bought one. And then one of our salesmen drove it home. Next time we had one available, he bought it. Like,
so we do have several people that we're looking to.
Yeah.
And we know they commute out of town. So they didn't. Because once they drove that a couple days, they realized how often they had to charge it because.
Well, but even the one that, the lady that drove it, she's out of town.
Yeah. Not that far though.
But she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to make it back in, because I remember she drove it home and then we had a bad ice storm.
Yeah.
We had a storm that almost kept people home, like on the dirt roads and whatnot, kept people home. And she's like, yeah, I don't think I can make it in with the EV. And lo and behold, she was able to.
Oh, the cold. I mean, the cold will affect how the range is, but it won't affect whether or not it works or not.
Yes. So she was just like, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it in. It's going to affect my battery. And she was able to make it in.
You want to see something funny?
And after that, she bought one.
So my Mach-E, since it snowed, I have not driven my Mach-E.
Yeah.
I've driven the Bronco every day. What's my range? And when I got out of it, my range was 80%. I'm at 81 now.
Your what?
Mine went up 1%. So just like it was at 80% before I got out of it. Now it's at 81%. So I have lost 0 battery since it sat there. So that's what's, because, some vehicles, the 12 volt. Now, will it start? I don't know, because it does take the 12 volt to like initiate some of the stuff. So we'll see if the 12 volt was affected by it or not. Guess we'll find out. And if so, I'll be able to do a video on here's how you jump the 12 volt. But I don't think it will. We'll find out. It's still buried in snow in the yard, but it's not as buried as much anymore. But maybe this weekend we'll get it out. We'll see. But yeah, so I've been driving the Bronco in this cold weather and the snow and everything, because we still have piles of snow around the dealership. So I've been I'll come around there. Like the other day, you know how over here in the parking spaces, we have the curbs, for the parking spaces.
Yeah.
And then the signs in the middle. snow's been over that. Over here, I went between the two signs up and over the curb, but since it was snow, it just went choom, choom. Just a little.
So there's a
little
hole
off-road.
in between your spot and Larry's spot.
Yeah.
So usually I will drive through there as a little
Oh,
shortcut.
yeah.
Like, especially when it's like 4:30, 4 o'clock when I'm coming up here and I know I'm leaving in 30 minutes to an hour. I just pull right in there between you guys. And it's just enough room for my C-Max.
Well, a lot of vehicles, like there, if you notice, been because they plowed snow where Kevin's spot is, so he's been parking right beside me.
Yes.
And he says, "Is this okay?" And I said, "Yeah, you're fine."
Yeah.
I said, "I'll just move over a little bit." And I noticed Larry moved over just a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But no, I'll use that as a backup.
people are like,
spot.
"What are you guys talking about? Dealership 101 or something?" All right. Anyway, but yeah, so there's that. So we'll see. Hopefully, there's just a glitch with the ordering system, but we can't.
Ooh.
Not that we've had anybody that wanted to order with us yet, but I want to be able to provide that and put that out there. That because we're probably going to be doing invoice pricing on an ordered Lightning if they want one. So,
Yeah,
they're still great vehicles, and yeah, they still. I mean, you can still, like, Jeff's been driving around in this cold, like it's been negative degrees, and Jeff's been driving around in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to charge here at the dealership sometimes because he doesn't have a charger at his apartment, but so he charges here. But I mean,
yeah,
it's been getting around just fine in his all-wheel drive.
Does it take longer to charge when it's this cold?
I think it's faster because a lot of times when those batteries are warm, they actually have to cool down.
Yes.
But when it's cold, they're already cool, so they'll ready to take that charge. So we noticed that in the winter when we had, like, at home, I don't have actually any kind of charger installed in my house. I still use the mobile power cord to plug into a 110 outlet. That's how I charge my mach-e, to be honest.
Yep.
That's what I do. Having another vehicle, I can do that. I can set it on the charger, and the next day I'll take the Bronco, and by the time I come back, it's charged. But I notice with that, it charges. Normally, I can charge, like, if I plug it in at night, the next morning I may get 5% in the 110 outlet. But with that one, I noticed during the cold, I was getting like 15%, if even or more. So I felt like I was getting a faster charge, at least at the bottom end of that. Now, maybe not at the top above 80%, but that bottom end, I felt like it was charging faster when it was colder.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Be nice. Maybe we should do some research on that.
Mm-hmm. So I have a 24 Ranger Lariat. I keep getting forward parking sensor blocked and shows a right fender well outline with the error. Took to Ford, unable to diagnose because no error flagged. Did they actually look at the wires?
Or the sensor? I mean,
Yes.
usually it's a sensor. But okay, so here's the other. That actually has been happening to some Mavericks that have been arriving since 25s.
Yes, but he has a 24.
Similar. I know, and that's a
Okay.
Ranger.
Okay.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
So it might be. So
Sync
my
4.
C-Max kept blaring, saying that I had something there.
Oh, that's right.
And it kept going off when I initially got in, and then would turn off. It sometimes would go off on me, and I brought it in, and it turns out mice chewed through the wire.
Yeah.
So they might want to check the actual wiring to make sure that there's nothing broken in that connection.
Yeah. But they did say unable to diagnose, cause no error flagged. So the question is now. Here's the other thing that's difficult.
That's why I asked. Did they look at the wires?
Here's the other thing that's difficult, though, when bringing a vehicle in to have it repaired, right? Is if they can't get it to duplicate what it did for you, it's hard for them to do that. So if it's not doing that at the time you bring it in,
yes,
then when they go to plug it in, it's not showing it, so
Yeah.
they can't fix it.
So my car would do the blaring, and then I would turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it back on, and the blaring would be gone. I had to turn it on and off a few times. And I was like, okay, so if it doesn't do it when I get here, it always happened on a cold start, right? But not the starts after that. So I was like, okay, if I bring it in and it's not a cold start, it's not going to do it.
Yep.
So what I sat through the beeping for an entire drive here to make sure it was still doing it when I got here. I was like, it's doing it.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Well, one time with I had an issue with my F-150. Remember when we added the Roush exhausts to it, and I had it was tripping out, right? And I couldn't, but I filmed it. I was like, here's what it's doing. And I showed them. And they're like, yeah, but I can't duplicate it. I can't. So we found out it had to do with because I had Roush. I had some different wheels or something. It was the speedometer recalibration that was an issue. Once they unplugged it, It didn't do it. They said, "What do you want us to do?" I says, "I'll just know that it's 3 miles off. I'm good." So I just knew I was always 3 miles off of what it really said, but I'd rather have that than it just was flipping out. The dash was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
but
3
again,
miles off.
if they can't get it to duplicate the same thing that you're having an issue with when you take it in, they're not going to be able to diagnose
You
it.
know,
So
you work
that
at
might
a
be an issue.
dealership and you've worked in the service area when you have a problem going on, so you bear that problem until you get to the dealership.
Anyway,
Because
so
you
there
know
go.
if it doesn't do it, they aren't going to do anything.
All right. So should we address this since he posted this for a while back? How long is it before Ford's shutters the Lightning plant? I think you mean shuts, maybe. With new administration, I see Tesla being the only true. Okay, you actually did post it earlier. I think. Yeah. Now with the EV mandate going away, that actually does open the door for Tesla. Like Tesla's loving it. And at first I thought, well, why would they love that? And I'm like, well, that's because they don't need any of the mandate because all their vehicles are EV.
Yes.
So that doesn't affect them at all.
We had a Tesla in the building. Jeff's like, do you want to pull it out? I'm like, no. He's like, don't you want to try it? I'm like, I want to be able to say I've never touched a Tesla. I've never touched one.
It's really weird. So I got so that one there, I tried getting in with the little key thing and I couldn't. You have to put it just in the right place on the A pillar.
No,
or the B pillar. You have to put it in just the right place for it to unlock the door and open it. But not only that, but when it opens the door, it starts it immediately. Because there is no.
That's right.
There's a park and everything else, but there's no start button. So when you get in, it's running.
Right.
You know, they could save a lot on the range, even more. I mean, it does pretty well. Even more if they would just have a start button.
Yes.
But anyway, I don't know.
Have you heard anything about Mavericks being held from shipping? I talked to Ford, and my Maverick was built on 1/9 and has been released for shipping for almost 2 weeks now.
I think they are having some. I hate to start a rumor necessarily, so I'm not going on anything other than the vehicles that we've had arrived recently. Even when I say recently, I mean like within the last week.
Yeah,
we've had about 6 that are having some issues with them, and we can't deliver them because they're having some errors coming up, and the backup camera not working on a couple.
So I'm wondering because we had, we saw them get held back for a little bit. And then we saw the ones that were fresh off the assembly line coming out first. So I wonder if his got kind of piled in and was released, but then they noticed dealers reporting problems. So now those first ones that were off the line are being held back to check for issues.
I don't know. When did this one say his was
1/9?
1/9. Okay, it was built 1/9. Okay. Well, and here are the ones that are just now showing up are the ones that were. I mean, the first ones that came in, we weren't having any issues at all. So maybe it's
the fact first ones that came in weren't the ones fresh off the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the early ones are fine because I think they checked them all. But I think now we're having issues with the ones maybe built in January that are having. Here's the deal. You know what else is going on? What's going on in January? What's going on this month, right? And that is it's MP1 for job 2. So that means they have MP1s and MP, or they have job 1s and job 2s rolling off the plant together right now. Right? They're doing a couple of job 2s to test them out as they're producing job 1s. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but I don't know. But I will say this. I mean, I can't confirm or deny that that's an issue, but I can say we've seen several arrive that are having some issues, and one of those being Zooms. But his, I think, is a little different. But yet his was built the first week, and his held for a while before they shipped it out. His didn't ship out right away when they did the. Of course, we know that the delays. I mean, even once the delay was the quality hold was lifted, his still didn't ship out for quite a few weeks, and then it did. So I don't know. His might be a different issue, but I don't know. I mean, when we get more and more of these showing up, then Ford will be alerted of that because the dealers will be like, we can't do it. They'll go and they'll contact their whoever they need to contact for service, and eventually it'll get back to them that they're having issues, and so we might see a recall or at least a TSB on these probably. here shortly. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to figure something. We got to deliver these vehicles. So
Yeah. Let's see. I finally pulled the trigger and picked up a Maverick last Friday. Your channel proved extremely helpful in helping me understand choices. Thank you very much for all the great content. And he used, I think it was a 23. I saw.
cool.
When you say they are scheduling for the F-150s, is that for the Dearborn plant or the Kansas City plant?
Both.
They don't separate. It's all
Sometimes they'll separate if they have different production times that they're scheduling for. They'll separate it. Like Super Duty, they separated it because they're scheduling for different weeks. But if they're scheduling for the same week and they're both on job 1 or job 2s, then they won't separate it up.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Those are all the questions I had.
I'm saying I don't know. I can't remember on F-150 what trim levels and different things they produce
Someone
at Kansas
asked
City.
When does job 2 start?
For Maverick?
F-150.
F-150. Man, I don't have that date in here. Well, let me look at the F-150 order guide. Might tell me. I know I updated it.
Yeah. My Maverick arrived at 29 miles already on it. There's no note on the truck. Should I be concerned?
29 miles is actually low.
Yes.
I mean, we see primarily 80% of ours show up with 10 miles and less. And then we just got one with 49 miles on them.
Yeah. I got one of the first 22s that our dealership got back when they first came out, and I had 300 miles on it.
Okay, so there, to be honest, with 29 miles, there should have been a little sticker on your window that probably more than likely your dealer took off that said that it was used for testing purposes and that this is how many miles was recorded on it. We did this many miles of testing of your vehicle for quality. That was probably put on your window of your vehicle. And if you're one of our members, if you look back, I don't even know which video it was, but one of my videos, I actually showed that. I think it was just this last week or the week before.
Yeah.
I showed one vehicle that came in what was tested for testing, and it'll have a little sticker and it'll tell you how many miles they drove as testing it.
But if you ordered it yourself or for yourself, the dealer ordered it for you. Before you got there, they most likely set it up, took your window sticker off, took everything off.
But yeah,
they would have taken that off too.
They should have before when you come, even if it is a retail order, they should have not taken everything off. That sticker should have stayed on because it actually does say in there to be removed by the owner, especially if it's a retail one. Mm-hmm. Now they won't test the stock ones like that.
Back when I got my 22, they didn't remove it, and I removed it. Yeah. But then again, I asked to set my own vehicle up.
Yes. We took mine, I took my own stickers and stuff off. Yeah. And
he saw a sticker. What would look like a Maverick truck.
There's 2 stickers that actually say that should be removed by the customer. And a lot of dealers will remove one of them, but usually that one should stay.
But sometimes you never know.
Yeah.
We have high schoolers working back there, and they could potentially not read it and just remove all stickers on the vehicle.
All right, so I was looking at the order guide. Okay, so here we go. Effective on all vehicles scheduled after job 2, and then it says opening and then to be determined. So they don't have a date yet of when they're going to start being built, like the production. And I think that's because they are trying to, this week they said they're trying to finish out job 1. So job 2 could start and okay. Let me pull my notes. So we know on the F-150 that they're scheduled through the week of March 17th. And it does say for job 1, spec changes and cancellations are turned off. So I think they are trying to finish out scheduling. So probably the week of the 24th is probably when startup is going to be for job 2. That would be my take, but I don't know for sure. We'll hopefully get more information soon. But sometimes they don't always, depending on the model, sometimes we don't always get notified that it's in job 2 startup. There's some that have significant changes or things, because I know on F-150, the Platinum Plus was a job 2. If you wanted a Platinum Plus, that was a job 2 order. So now that was on the order guide that job 2 was for that because it says they added Platinum Plus 703A and then the Platinum Plus Experience. So that was been added for job 2. So that was something that I should have covered because that came out at the same time that this came out on the F-150 Lightning for job 2 was the same thing. Wait. Hold on a second. Lightning should follow the same dates as this. Oh, it still says to be determined on that one. So we don't have production dates yet. So now anything ordered from here on out is job 2 for F-150, but we don't know when the production of the job 2s will start. So
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. My F-150 XL Super Crew was ordered, I'm guessing ordered 12/16 to be scheduled, probably to be built in February or March. So no, 12/16 was the date Ford said was going to be scheduled to be built in later that month. Haven't heard anything since 12/16.
Okay, so on F-150, sometimes they'll schedule closer than 2 months out. So most models you'll see like this week, they're even doing like they're scheduling this week for 3 weeks from now, right? So F-150 and Super Duty are a little different sometimes because they need that production up. I mean, like they're scheduled for the week of 2/17, so that's less than a month. So
Yeah.
so they're scheduling a month out to 2 months out.
So on
On
12/16, he was notified that he was going to be scheduled.
Probably for a late January build date, more than likely, not February build date.
Yeah.
So you could, if you get built, and the best way to know is to contact your dealer.
Yep.
So call them, ask them what your scheduled build date is, and they can tell you. So, and then figure once it's built, figure 4 to 6 weeks it should be at your dealer. I mean, pretty close. F-150 is pretty solid when it comes to the time frames, unless something happens. There are some issues here and there, but for the most part.
Okay. Yeah, Trisha, the 122 miles means that they were testing the vehicle.
Yeah.
Means they took it out, drove it to see how well it works compared to the other vehicles in the batch.
They'll just handpick and grab one off the line. If so many vehicles or whatever, they'll grab it and then they'll go drive it and test it, make sure everything's good and it's everything in the production line still where it needs to be.
I think they try and choose at least one per batch.
I don't know. There's probably more than likely there's a couple people that test those, and so and it's probably your plant managers and such. So it's probably more than likely like one a day, one shift. You're probably right. Yeah. Probably one shift.
Well, while we were in Chicago, we actually saw them. They were testing them, and they may not be driving. Remember how they had the vehicles that were throwing codes? They put them on basically a treadmill to try them out.
Yeah.
So they weren't being driven on the road. They have in-factory treadmills for the vehicles to run on to see if they can get that code to actually throw.
So when they say in testing, it could be, because like we did see that where they had it on a thing on the wheels and it was just constantly moving. So that's, I mean, a lot of times they won't, like you said, take it on the road. It's don't put it on one of those.
Yeah. And then if it throws a code, they take it off, see if anything's wrong, see if everything's plugged in correctly.
Yeah.
Take it back around and retest it.
Yep. It's really cool to see them because we got a chance to see how they test the sensors before it gets released too.
Yeah.
So because they put it on a thing and then they have certain things out there. And so all of the pre-collision assist and everything gets tested before it gets released as well, which is kind of cool to see. So.
And that one's more automated. Or
one we went to was
less automated.
Yeah, they pushed the vehicles around.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
see how they did it before automation.
Yeah, because we got to go to the hybrid plant, so it was a smaller plant where they make the police interceptors too, hybrids and police interceptors.
Yeah.
So, but we got a chance to see it. Yeah, that was fun. That was enlightening. All right, any other questions?
No.
Okay. Anyway. All right.
Well, our chat's died down quite a bit.
Yeah. Nothing else? Ford Tracker still said my truck is 5 shipped. Is
but not
5
delivered.
shipped but not delivered. 6.
So it on the tracker, it's
on
1,
the-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. So, yep. And so we even have around here, we have guys that are like, well, I want to have it service inspected before I call my customer. I said, oh, just so you know, your customer already knows it's here.
Yeah.
If they check it every day, they know it's been shipped and they check it every day.
In fact, Paul did that.
Yeah. I mean, Paul knew his was here, you know,
'Cause Darren,
before we
like I went to go talk to Darren and he was on the phone every time I went to go talk to him. And so I didn't get to talk to him that day. And that night we get an email from Paul.
Well, what's funny is I think that was actually, he just happened to be the same day, but I actually recorded his coming off the truck. Well, not coming off the truck, but it had just come off the truck and for the lot walk video that day.
Yeah.
And that went live like I recorded that at like 3:00. And then within 3 hours, he had already gotten an email, I think, that his had showed up. So,
well, and then there was like,
yeah. So he said,
yeah.
Sometimes you'll get the email that it's arrived. And
Before it's actually
sometimes, but other times, if you check the tracker, it'll also show it too. And so that's why I like to tell like people around here, like, well, why are you telling them? Like, we didn't tell them anything. You don't know. Your customers know it before you know it.
Yeah.
So, because on the sales guys, they don't always check those emails. Because what we typically do is when we put in an order, your email address goes in there, but also one representative from the dealership's email address, and we always put the salesperson's email address in there. What do you mean no?
Well, they've changed how they're doing it. So the desk isn't putting in as many orders. They're giving it to our ordering specialist who puts it in, and she puts her email in.
Oh.
Because I've been looking at those.
Well, when I order my own vehicle, I put my email address, so I get 2 emails. If when I ordered it for your mom, I put mine in, or I put her email address as the customer, and I put mine as the sales rep. Anyway.
So John W., replacing the backup camera, it's not just 24s that were affected, right?
Yeah, it was just 24.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was 22 to 24.
Okay. So that's not a part issue. It was a software issue. So just replacing it won't necessarily be the fix.
Yeah. I mentioned this in a comment on my video.
Yeah.
That went out live yesterday is that the problem isn't with the camera, folks. The problem is with the connection and the engineering and the software and the coding to get that camera image to the screen.
Yeah.
So that's why we see it's affected on the XL and XLTs. Although we've had some people that said on their Lariat was affected, but I don't know if it's the same. But I don't know. So some Lariats were affected too, but for the most part, it's the XL XLTs because that is not sync system. But we also see on some of the others. So it's more of a coding issue than it is a actual bad camera. The camera is probably not bad.
Yep.
It's
which is why they didn't
software.
just be like, hey, we're sending out new cameras.
Because they did tell us that it's a software update. It's not a camera replacement. It's a software update.
They have Sync 4 in those, don't they?
In the 25s.
Oh. Okay.
Sync 3 and Lariat 22 to 24. And then
that's right.
I don't know.
They
People
don't do over-the-air updates, do they?
None on this, I don't think. Well, in the Maverick, the XL and XLTs, I don't even know what system you want to call it.
Yeah.
Some people are calling it 1.0 because there is, Sync 3.
Yeah.
But it's
okay.
Sync. Someone calls Sync 2.5, but yeah, it's not even Sync 3. So.
Okay. Does Ford have an authorized fix to disable the start-stop stupid feature?
Okay, so supposedly, I just say Google it. I can't, as a dealer, we can't deactivate that for you, but there are some people that know how to deactivate it. So just Google it is what I would ask. I think if you have the forescan or whatever, then I think it can be done, but a dealer is not required, not allowed to do that for their customers, from what I understand. But there are some ways, and I think there's some ways to disable it outside of that too. So
Maverick Truck Club.
But there is a button for it.
Yes, but you have to press it every time you get into the vehicle.
Yeah, but there's also a way. I have some little tricky things too that where it might shut off, but not for very long. Like if you turn the steering wheel it'll turn back on because your steering is electric. So because of that, it needs to turn on for that to work. So I've found that if you're stopped, I do it in my Bronco all the time. If I hear it shut off, I'm like, oh, I just turn the steering wheel and it comes back on, or I let it go ahead and turn off. And then I know the light's going to turn. I go ahead and I wiggle my steering wheel. It starts up before I need to go. So I do that too. So that's a couple things I've heard also.
I always suggest Maverick Truck Club. Go check it.
Yeah, somebody might have done it, but I've had it on my vehicles for a long time. You know,
Douglas Blair has a fix. Sport mode.
Yes, sport mode will also deactivate it too. I was going to say, as I was about ready to say, different modes will deactivate it. I know that tow haul mode will, but sport mode will too, because I know in the Bronco, if I'm in sport mode, it will not turn on.
So just leave it in sport mode.
I think is it always been where it's at now? Like in the 25, if you notice, it's right down by the drive, or it's not, the drive mode switch got moved, but
they need to bring the 25
there.
back in.
Yeah, okay. But it's down there. Maybe I think it was in the same location as it is this year in 25. I don't know, but there you go. Paul, how's your Maverick doing? I didn't get a chance to see when you're in. I felt bad. I was out there picturing cars, and I was like, oh wait, Paul's supposed to be here anytime, and I was like, he's already here and gone. I'm like, oh, I missed you.
Here's a random question for you. Do you know if Ford has any plans to expand what vehicles will have Blue Cruise capability in the future with over-the-air updates?
So they can't. The hardware has to be there. So I mean, the vehicles have to have the hardware. It's sensors, not just the software. It's the sensors. Basically, the vehicles that have adaptive cruise are the only one thing that's missing it from getting Blue Cruise, and that is the sensors that say you're looking at the road.
Yes,
that is the only difference between Blue Cruise and adaptive cruise control with the lane centering. That is it. So my Expedition does not have Blue Cruise. It's got adaptive cruise with the lane centering and everything, and I would almost rather drive it than my vehicle with Blue Cruise, because I don't necessarily have to keep. I do keep my eyes on the road, but I can just let go of the steering wheel I figured out it's 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Wiggle the steering wheel. I'm good to go. So that's the only difference. Now they are expanding what vehicle lines do get Blue Cruise, and at least the hardware. So like on the Expedition, it's like 90% of the Expeditions will have Blue Cruise hardware, and then you can sign up for the Blue Cruise. I still on my mach-e have not. I signed up for 1 month because I use it a lot, but right now I am not signed up for Blue Cruise.
Right.
I'm not paying for it because I don't drive it on the highway much. So why do I want to waste the money on it? So they are expanding it. So Expedition, we do drive that a lot on the highway, but I would, when we get it in, because you get to test it for 3 months, just like the Lightning or the mach-e, I would like your mom to try it. And if she likes it, I'd be willing to pay for it if they lower it a little bit. I still think $50 a month is still high, my opinion. So
yeah,
just like I think $80 for navigation is too high, but it did come in handy on my trip.
Yes,
because there was times where my phone got hot and I said, oh shoot, I forgot to bring a power cord. So I don't want to connect to my Android Auto because it was wireless Android Auto and I forgot a cord to plug it in. So part of my trip, I'm like, oh no, I don't have a cord and all that. So I didn't want to use it. So I used the regular navigation. So it did come in handy for a little bit. And then when I filled up, I remembered, I think I got a cord in a glove box. And I found one for some other device that I have in a glove box. And I have a headlamp that I take, and I always keep it in the Bronco because you never know when you're going to need to take off a fender flare.
At 9 o'clock at night.
9 o'clock at night at a campsite in Buena Vista. But so I have that in the glove box, and that takes a cord to charge it. But so I used it, so I was able to do that because I really like Android Auto much better. But no, so there's a purpose behind it. But so there are more and more vehicles getting it, as I was kind of cut off topic there. But Expedition, 90% of them are going to have it. All your mach-es have it. A lot of your like the hardware's there on almost all Lightnings, F-150 Lightnings, F-150 Lariat and above. The hardware's there, I believe. XLT might have lost it this year. It was 302A and above. So a lot of the F-150s have the hardware. And when I say when they have the hardware, that means they get like a 90-day trial. And then if they want to keep it, then they can get it. And the benefit of that, I do kind of like the trial part because, like for your mom, she's never used the Blue Cruise. She doesn't know if she wants to try it. So let's try it. But then if she doesn't, because here's the thing about Blue Cruise is if you have Blue Cruise and you're paying for it, you can't deactivate Blue Cruise to go to just adaptive cruise control. I've on the mach-e, I've looked at that. It's either you have it or you don't. And
Yeah.
so, but if you don't have the Blue Cruise activated, then you revert to adaptive cruise. So if she likes adaptive and not Blue Cruise, then she only has 3 months to deal with the Blue Cruise before it's
Right.
gone.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it would be nice to be able to deactivate and go down to adaptive cruise. Because let's say I like it and I want to drive the Expedition with it when I'm driving, but she doesn't. It'd be nice to be able to say, I don't want Blue Cruise, but I want adaptive cruise with lane centering, because it says Blue Cruise with lane centering.
Right.
So I can deactivate Blue Cruise in lane centering. I deactivate lane centering, so then I get adaptive cruise without lane centering. I think that's how that works. But anyway.
Yeah. So Doug, yes, if you were to use ForScan to change things to software or programming, yes, it can void the warranty if something were to happen. So yeah, you have to be careful with that. That's why dealers are not authorized to do that and mess with that software.
Now, I will say this, because you're talking aftermarket, is that a lot of your aftermarket companies will take care of you, like
Yes.
Roush superchargers. So Ford would say, hey, you added a supercharger to this, so we're not going to cover it, but then Roush will.
Yep.
So a lot of, I mean, that's the thing, that to get a good aftermarket company, when you're adding something to it, that will cover you if there's something you're adding to it, like a Roush cold air intake with it. Like I have cold air intake with exhaust.
It's
If there's
why
an
we
issue
didn't
there,
go with
Roush is going to cover
we
it.
didn't go with a certain supercharger because it didn't have a warranty, but we went with Whipple because it had a warranty.
Now, for a while, we weren't going with Whipple because Whipple didn't have an extended warranty.
That's right.
They just had the regular factory, and people wanted to extend it. Roush had an extended
Yeah.
warranty you can add,
Okay.
and Whipple didn't. But now that Whipple's working with Ford Performance, the Ford Performance Whipple supercharger
Yes.
is covered under warranty. The Whipple one, which is, they won't. There's a reason why they didn't. But the one now that they've combined with Ford Performance, it's it's toned down a little bit, and so they'll cover it with warranties.
But doing things with ForScan can be tricky, because if you go to change something and you don't know how to necessarily do it and you haven't read up on it, you may accidentally change something with your brake system or your sensor system or something else, and it would void your warranty on that fix.
Let's test the selective listening skills of Ragnar. I won't say it 3 times, but he actually has done ForScan, and he actually did a video that I watched where he did that, and there were some other things that were deactivating and setting up codes. So doing something can actually affect some of the others on that. So so on the Bronco, if you hit to unlock on the newer Broncos, it would actually allow your windows to crack when you hit the unlock, instead of having to open the door, because people would open the door and it'd flop because it comes down, and then you're supposed to open it. So you're supposed to pull it and then grab it. And I don't, and mine flops. His was like that too, but he used the ForScan to find, since they added it for 24 model year, he found it and got it to where when he unlocked it, it would crack the windows. So then when he went to go open it, they already cracked, and they didn't have that. So he did that, but then he had some other code issues too. So check out his video. Evidently he's gone for the night, or he would have responded
So if he ever comes to visit, we're going to have to do a little member video where we say his name 3 times and edit him popping in.
Right. Anyway, but so there you go. All right, moving on.
Okay. Oh, Paul Newbert said that he
made it back.
Anyways, he made back to Seattle, 50-mile-per-hour winds and snow in Nebraska and Utah and Wyoming on Friday. But he made it. That's half the trip.
Yeah.
Okay. John Grant says that Florida has 6 inches of snow in the Panhandle.
Hey, I wasn't joking about Florida, was I?
No. They have snow on the beaches.
I heard though that Jack says they've really never gotten snow down there.
Yeah.
Southern Florida.
Brian McCon, did you hear about our peanut butter cookies? I mean, we have cookies. If you said it 3 times, most likely he would have popped in.
Yeah.
Got the cookies. All right.
But-
Anyways, did you hear all of that? Anyways.
Yeah, we didn't say your name 3 times, so we're surprised you didn't come back in. But yeah, we were actually talking about the forescan. So you can maybe pop in and let people know that if you're doing forescan for certain things, that there are some things could happen, right? I think you talked, I basically said I watched your video when you were doing that on your windows. So anyway, and we do see a 10-second delay in the messages. We're like 10 seconds ahead of you guys. So anyway,
Yeah.
all right, let's get there.
What about just adding bigger tires on a truck? Is there a way other than forescan to recalibrate the speedometer?
There are speedometer recalibrations available. What's the one? Hypertech, right? Is that the one that we've used?
I think so.
we use we'll use Hypertech for that. I actually think mine does have Hypertech on, because I do have bigger tires, but I don't know.
No,
Either that or I'm speeding.
You just said that you unplugged it, and you know.
No, that was an F-150
Oh, okay.
that I had. Yeah, and say watch his Ragnicon's videos. He does get into the forescan. So
I need to go watch his videos more often. I'm horrible about that.
They need to call it Ford Scan. Ford Scan.
I'm horrible about that with our favorite channels. Like, I'll pop in and watch their videos once in a while, but when I'm at home, I'm truly with the kids.
So I was telling you I wasn't feeling good yesterday or last night. Went home and rested. So again, I won't get into political, but I watched a little bit of the Trump stuff. And then I got on All Train Nation, and it was just after they had their guest on. I felt bad. I'll go back and watch it later. But I had it on. I said, "Hey, everybody," and then I just dozed off. It wasn't because of them. I wasn't feeling good, and so I dozed off. So I fell asleep listening to All Train Nation last night. And so if you notice that I didn't reply back to everybody, that's probably why. I need to go back and watch that. But anyway,
I got in there for the end of it.
Did you? Actually, I think I saw you pop in, and that's right about when I dozed off.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I didn't get in until like 9.
They were only on for about another 10 minutes.
I don't think I get on until like 9.
That's about the time that my kids are finally in bed. Although the oldest one is a bit clingy right now, so he kept climbing out of bed and checking to make sure I was still on the couch. He's like, "No, you have to sleep on the couch." Nope, we're not doing that, buddy. You need to. I'll sit here for about 20 minutes and let you fall asleep, but I'm going to bed.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's about it. So, all right. Well, if you guys have nothing else, I think we're gonna head out. So anyway, but yeah, check out. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow on Bronco, but we're gonna talk something Bronco tomorrow. I have found out that I think that doing the Bronco Built Wild Wednesdays and doing some videos on Bronco Sport, the Bronco Sport community needs some love. Yes. I feel like it's kind of like the Maverick community that, because I've been posting in on the Bronco Sport forum, and a little bit on the Reddit, and so they're like, "Hey, thanks for the support and the help and everything." So it's like, I think they're really enjoying that, because I don't think they have a lot of people posting a lot of things on there. Bronco, there's quite a bit of especially accessory stuff now, but they really need to love too, and so I don't always get in all the different forums and everything, but there for a while, I would every night I'm in a forum like reading stuff, and I don't have the time for that sometimes, but I try to. So that's been good. So if you see more Bronco Sports centered in those Bronco videos, that might be why.
I shout it out every chance I get that the Bronco Sport's just as capable, and I absolutely love the Bronco Sport.
It does so good in the snow.
Only reason I want the full size Bronco is to keep up with you. Which I know the Bronco Sport can do pretty much most of it. But like even Melissa said that day that we were going up, what was it, Tin Cup? She's like, well, if we had any Bronco Sports with us, we would take a different path. So I want to be able to keep up with you on some of the rockier trails.
Well, what they would have done was when they went, like the first part, Bronco Sports would have been fine. But going down and going through the water, I guess the lake was down, but they would have basically gone up and come back the same way. Is I think what they would have done. So they wouldn't have gone.
Well, there was that wheel lift on the other side.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I think.
Well, you're thinking Hancock.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Hancock,
Hancock.
yeah.
There's too many big rocks there that they
So
would.
that's what I want to do. Is I want to be able to keep up with you on those big rocks.
Yeah. So.
But it'd be fun to take a Bronco Sport and see what's capability in my hands would be.
Oh, I mean, we went to that one in Wisconsin, and there were some spots where we were, as Broncos even, we were hitting. Now, I didn't have my lift in, but we were hitting in some spots, and Bronco Sports were coming right out of there.
Do you think?
So sometimes it's all about changing your angle.
I could borrow a vehicle to go see what I can do with it.
You know, it's a used vehicle. Those used vehicles, you don't know what. It wasn't me. It was the previous owner, surely.
No.
Anyway,
I might know someone.
So I did see, he's not in here. Did they trade in a Bronco Sport? Because there's one, of course, we did that package on a lot of vehicles, but they got the wheels and tires.
He's happy with it.
Okay. So we had one that we sold that we put those on for some of the early Bronco Sports. We did a level kit and then the wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Remember? We called it LMX4 Bronco Sport. And we got one as a trade-in recently. So
yeah.
We just pictured that the other day, right? We went to body shop. Somebody, the back bumper had a little thing in it. They're gonna have to put a new bumper on it.
I was gonna say I haven't seen it, so maybe it was part of this week's because when I do the new to lot email, that's when I would have keyed in on as a performance. Like, hey, here's an oldie.
Yeah. But Bronco Sport, and I think with 25 too. Well, a lot of people, and this might be a good video. Maybe this is what we do tomorrow. So this is so right now, what's going on right now is what we do in our member lives.
Welcome to our member live.
So this is just a little glimpse of what we do in our member live as we talk about, we kind of brainstorm between Sarah and I and the community about what we're going to talk about in future videos. And so anyway, so my thinking is that a lot of people in Bronco Sport, they like the new bumpers.
Yeah.
And they want to retrofit them on their old Broncos Sports. And they're asking if they can do it. They found the part codes and everything, but the bumpers, the bumpers is one thing, but there's a front fascia. Front fascia basically is what's above the bumpers typically on like most of your F-150s will have a front fascia and then there's a bumper. And there's usually just a little bit of body panel above that. And I believe it's different on the Bronco Sport on the 24 versus the 25. And so, even though the bumper could be put on, the front fascia, I think, is different. And the grille is different. So I don't think you can just take the bumpers on, put the new ones on. I think your grille is different too.
Unlike with the 20, you could potentially redo the 25 on a 24.
Yeah. I don't know. But I will say this. I'm really impressed with what they did for the look of the 25.
I love it.
So, and I'm looking forward to the Bronco too and seeing it because there's what I did not like about Bronco and Bronco Sport is I did not like the Big Bend grill. So in the Outer Banks for that fact, I don't like the big openings in the grill.
Yeah.
Right. I like the black diamond grill. It has the smaller ovals and everything. So you notice in the Big Bend for probably your bases as well is going to be the same grill as your black diamond or your Big Bend. So it's the black diamond grill basically is what it's getting. And so then it looks like to me too that when you go to Outer Banks, I didn't look at the grill that closely, but I don't think it's the bigger openings. And if you look at the Bronco Sport, they've done the same thing. They did away with the Big Bend grill, and now I like it. It is Badlands. If you look close enough, it is a different grill because we got a Badlands in that somebody bought. We have an Outer Banks. I haven't looked at that one yet. We haven't pictured it, but it just came in, right?
Yeah.
We'll look at that. But I do like the new grills of those, and I think they did a good job. I like the smaller openings of the grill and a more filled in grill than what they are. So I do like what they've done with the Bronco Sport. I think they knocked the Bronco Sport out of the park for 25. I was really, it's one of those things when you go, we went to the embargoed event. And on these, we went to 3 of those, and when we went to the Bronco Sport, I was like, yes. So they added, and originally we were like, okay, we're going to do like 10 new things that are available for this almost the same price. We did that video and like, can we find 10 things? And what's funny is that we did.
You found more than 10 things.
Yeah, we found more than 10 things that they gave to the Bronco Sport Big Bend in 25. And what I'm so shocked by is the fact that, and maybe even though I did it as a separate video, maybe I didn't do it as a Bronco a bit while I want to say, because there's so many new features, new grills, new wheels, and I liking the wheels.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do one just covering all the different wheels.
Yeah.
But I kind of need to have one of each one in stock. We
Yeah,
don't
that's
have
something that you like
Um,
progressively catch over time. Like you,
yeah.
when we have one in the picture building, go, oh, okay, we have this. Okay, now.
Well,
Yeah.
we have all the different big bins right now. So we have
Okay.
so the big bins that are here are actually for a business, but they haven't picked them up yet or bought them yet. So I can do that one. And then we have a black diamond. We have a black appearance package. So we have all three of those. We don't have a heritage edition in. We don't have a freewheeling, and we might never get a freewheeling. We'll see. And then we didn't do well with the two that we got for 24. But and then we do have an Outer Banks and we have a Badlands though. But we don't have any of the Sasquatch ones because they're not out yet. But anyway, so
Yeah.
But yeah, Lobo has a unique grill, and I do like the Maverick, the black appearance package grill and the Maverick. I like that it's not just the other accents are blacked out. It is a separate, different grill in the black appearance package for the Maverick. I do like that. So, and then on the Bronco Sport black appearance package, doing the black letters instead. Yeah. So we did see, and we're seeing that too. When they do away with the trim, they'll still use the parts from that trim in some version in some way. So when you look at the base Bronco, you're seeing those black letters. Guess what? They're showing up in the black appearance package. You're seeing that with the Bronco Sport. We did have a base trim that had the black letters. Guess what? They're showing up in the black appearance package for the Bronco Sport. So doing away with the base and such, they're still using it. They're just using those parts in a different way, in a different package, which is you can see how they repurposed some of that. So I'm just glad they got rid of those big bang grills. I just don't like the look of them. Anyway,
now
that's me though.
I got asked by one of our parts department people. They're like, anything coming for Bronco? I'm like, I mean, they just did a refresh?
No, not Bronco. Bronco Sport. Bronco Sport did a refresh.
But Bronco
25.
had one for 24.
Not a refresh.
Where they got the bigger screens?
Okay, that's not a refresh.
Okay, what is that?
That's a bigger screen.
Okay,
I don't know what to tell you, but that's not, in my opinion, that's not a refresh.
And remodel.
Usually
right?
a refresh, you're going to see a grill update.
Okay, so it's refresh, remodel.
You'll see a grill, you'll see a front bumper like the Bronco Sport, new grill, new front bumpers, right? And then you'll see some.
Have they done that to the Bronco since? So we're ready for a remodel soon.
Well, see, Bronco takes its own time, because if you look at the Bronco in the past, they didn't really go by the 666, the 6 years, not
right.
Anyway, 6 years. So typically most models will go 3 years, then there's a refresh, 3 more years, there's a redesign.
Thank
you. And that's typically what most models do. Bronco in the past even didn't do that. They went several years on Gen 1, and Gen 2 was like 2 years. And then Gen 3, I can't remember how many years it was, but they didn't go on that same cycle as any of the others. So Broncos, and they're doing it. They're doing it now as well. I think what they're doing is they're saving that refresh, and maybe it's going to be a redesign for 26. But
heritage year, right?
It's going to be it's going to be a
anniversary
year, right?
That's right.
70
Which I
years,
told her, I said,
right? Is that 7?
Is that 60?
60? 60.
I told her, I was like, well, we haven't heard anything. I was like, we haven't heard anything, but the anniversary's coming up, and we've heard rumors that there might be something coming for that.
I didn't. I got some information on that. So,
but
yes.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
The anniversary of the Bronco is in August.
Yes.
Where did I get that? Yeah, the anniversary. Yeah, August 11th is is going to be 60 years of the start of the Bronco.
Okay.
So not necessarily they've been building them all that time, but the 60 years celebration, or the debut of the Bronco, was in 66, and it was August 11th. Okay. So they're going to do some celebration. Okay. So they'll do something big.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping I don't know, will it be a redesign or will it just be a refresh? So we'll have to see.
Which I told her, I was like, we don't really know what's going on, but
yeah,
This is what we have heard.
They didn't say that was embargoed, so I just I got some news, and it didn't say this. Says this information is not. There's no embargo on this, so I'm like, okay. So.
Okay.
Yep. So
It'll be fun to see
they'll
what
be
we see
doing.
this year.
They're going to be doing some celebration for 60 years coming up, which we kind of figured they would anyway. So it's probably not a secret.
Are we going to be going?
Yep. Wherever it is, hopefully.
Woodward
And
Dream
hopefully
Cruise.
Ford pays the way. We're still considered media by then, and we haven't broken any rules. Anyway,
we gotta play nice.
Yep, I'm trying.
All right, yeah, it's 9:24.
All right. So they said something about Dream. Yeah, he said something about Dream. Right,
Yeah.
Kind of about Dream Cruise. I don't know if Woodward is that same time, but I will tell you this: I've found that Ford doesn't necessarily. They like having their own deal, their own reveals, their own stuff, their own celebrations. If you look, they're not doing any reveals at auto shows anymore.
They did one at the Texas State Fair for the Expedition.
But all the stuff had already come out. We released all our information before that.
No, we weren't allowed to release it until they did it.
Oh, was it the same?
It was the same day, same time, because remember, it was odd because our embargo was at 6 p.m.
Oh, that's right.
And we were like, what? Why is it in the evening? And then we found out that they were doing a drone show.
That's right. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe they'll have. They're not doing auto shows anymore, but yeah, I can see that. So maybe is Woodward that week?
Let's see.
I thought
24 was August 17th. 25 is August 16th.
Yeah, see, it's before that, the week before that, because you can't change an anniversary date of your vehicle, right?
So
I guarantee they're going to do something
more than likely. What they'll sorry, my thoughts is probably what they're going to do is invite media down, show it to media, show it to some others, and then do an event of their own, and then have it at Woodward for people to see.
Yeah, hopefully we do get embargoed stuff ahead of time, and then they still do a big reveal. Although the Mustang, we went to that reveal.
Yes.
And that time we weren't considered media, so we didn't get close. But they did. I mean, they did media at the same time. Well, no, or did they? Because there were some people that released some stuff ahead of time.
Right, because there was a leak. We were sitting there waiting for the reveal, and Derek's like, "Oh, it looks amazing. How's it look in person?" We're like, "What are you talking about?"
Somebody got off on their 1 hour. Eastern time, Central, it's different. Oh, well. All right. Well, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. So, but could be fun. I wanted to go to Woodward, but so we'll see. See what happens. Only time will tell. All right. Other than that, that's all we have. So.
All right.
Okay. We'll be looking for information on our as we post it on our YouTube channel under the community tab for events coming up in February for those people that are wanting to meet up with us in Florida, around in the Orlando area. So if you're in that area or
even further,
if you're further and want to join us, then we're going to be there and we'll enjoy it.
Because we have someone coming from what's his name? Mississippi.
Right? You talked about it?
Yes.
Arquibido?
Yes. Arquib said that he would like to come down.
Okay. Well, anyway, so we'll throw that out there to everybody that's members. We'll get that out there as well as everybody else. And
we'll even have Johnny there.
Bring a snow shovel. I don't think it'll snow that far south, right? I don't know. New Orleans didn't think it'd get snow either. We'll see.
They have snow on the beaches.
The Gulf storm. Oh my gosh. All right. There you go. So much for global warming.
Someone else said that earlier. Global warming does not mean it's too warm. It means that our weather is getting crazier.
Yes.
We're having super high highs and super low lows.
Yep.
It goes both ways.
Yep. Anyway. All right.
Global warming is not an accurate description of what it is.
Right. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for joining us tonight and our little after hours chit chat as well. Hope you guys had fun too. And yeah, until the next video, stay positive, be kind to one another.
Be kind to yourself.
We'll see you later.